We'll help her out with the groceries.
Vroom vroom.
Bitches know they can't catch me.
I think I've quoted that literally every.
It's so cool that
episode
people
of
want to
this
give a
game.
second life to their stuff.
Because why wouldn't we? Cute, sexy, am I right? Sporty.
Vroom vroom.
Bitches know they can't catch me.
Beep,
Beep, let's ride.
Let's ride. Where is she? Where's she at? Oh, there she is.
After we talk to Karen, do you want to take a break?
Yeah.
Oh, watch out!
Oh, I didn't realize it was in the way.
I'll let him
just
know
so
we're
eager
back.
to help.
Gotta empty that truck. Hey. Glad to see you survived the night in the desert.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, good morning.
Howdy, Sean.
How was the town
There he
trip?
is.
Hate these trips. People look at us as if we're aliens. Here come the sand people.
The deserters have returned with offerings from Das Kapital.
Jolie! I missed you. Next time, you're coming with us.
We'll see.
You were away from her for like one
Looking
night.
good. What's your
Gay.
Defying death on a daily basis.
Like, that's so fucking gay.
Hydrating.
Come on.
Gay.
He's so fucking
She's even
for
wearing
real.
a
Can't forget
fucking
your goodies.
rainbow like jacket thingy. Like,
Be so fucking for real, you guys. How do you all not think that Karen is queer-coded?
the way she like cradles her face.
I know. Next time you're coming with us, I missed you so much, even though I didn't see you for literally like one night.
Yeah. Not even that, I think. I think it was literally like a few hours. Like, wow.
Thanks, Angel.
Here.
Ah, you're the man, Karen. Catch you later.
The little kiss on the
Take care.
cheek.
Just a little peck.
Hey. So, how did you guys like your night in the canyon?
I missed
It was
you. She's been gone
amazing.
for like a few hours, you dumb lesbian.
It's so good. So lesbian of her.
So many stars. So quiet. Good call, Karen.
I knew you'd like it. Stargazer. Glad you got to see that.
Hi, Mom.
Aw.
How was the town?
Town life always sucks. But we got something for you. Think fast.
Whoa, yes. Thanks, David.
You want to play catch, Danny boy?
Totally. Me
The
and
way
Dad
that he's
always
so,
used to play, but
like,
I'm
quick
way
to
better
call
now.
her mom.
Yeah. I feel like he's been wanting this for a very long time.
No matter what he's been
Yeah.
through, he just wants to be a kid and play.
Yep. Daniel hasn't been like this in forever. You've all been a good influence on him.
About time you boys went camping. Hope Daniel didn't get scared by all the critters.
Yeah, not anymore. He's seen a lot worse.
No, he was
And that
trying
made him
to
tougher.
play with them.
And he can defend himself.
Right.
Yeah.
And he does
Yeah,
like
you
to
know
show
what?
off. Maybe too much. You boys have been here over a month, and I still can't get over Daniel's skills.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1 second.
It's okay.
Okay. What was I gonna say? I think that David never found out that Max had a power, right?
No, I'm pretty sure not. Like,
So he thinks that this is the first time he's met someone with, yeah.
yeah. I feel like there's a conversation like that. Like he says at some point, like he says something like, "Oh, I've never met anyone with power," and Sean says something, or like you have the option to say something like, "As far as you know," kind of thing, or something like that. I feel like there's some kind of nod to that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. What did he just say?
You've been here over a month, and I still can't go over it. Basically,
Oh,
I'm gonna
Okay.
say me neither.
yeah.
I think.
Me neither. But I never figured it out, so I don't try anymore.
Well, take it from an old soldier. But you trained him well. He's a good
He's
kid.
not a dog.
Thanks. I
He's
tried my
still
best.
David.
Although maybe
I
not
guess
how we
it's
should talk about dogs
reassuring.
either.
No,
What do I know?
but
But that's
Never
another
met
That's a
someone with
conversation
a
for another
superpower
day.
before.
I try to be a good
Never
influence.
met someone with a superpower.
Not
before,
always
is what you just
easy,
said.
but
Right.
he listens to me. I don't know if I did right. Guess you never really know.
Listen, raising a kid is the toughest job in the world.
You would fucking know.
Barely raised a kid.
I know, you piece of shit.
Ah! Like,
Oh,
unless you've
this
had a
guy.
child since then but with someone else.
He's like,
You
it
have-
was so hard for me when I became a teenage girl's stepfather, and
Yeah.
I blamed her for acting out because her father was dead, and I also
Literally.
hit her sometimes. That was really
Literally.
hard for me.
Like, it was so difficult.
Trust me. Combat was easier.
Combat was easier than Chloe Price? I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. Yeah, I still hate him.
Gonna kill
I
him.
don't give a shit if he thinks he's better. I still hate this man.
I still hate him. Yeah, I think, you know, this is arguably a slightly better version of David, and I think I talked about this a little bit in my video essay. But
Yeah,
I
you
think
did.
that you know, we're gonna have some interactions with him as well that kind of show that he very much still believes in the criminal justice system and
Yeah.
like all of the things that he believed in before that were part of why he was such a huge asshole in general, but also specifically to Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to call him out and be like, how many kids? How many kids do you have?
How many
David?
kids?
How many fucking
How
kids
long? How long do you have
do
those
you
kids?
have?
Oh, you didn't tell me you had kids. How many?
None.
Exactly.
I was a stepdad. Or, in her case, a step douche. Before her mom died,
Let's fucking go.
we never got along. She was angry.
Yeah.
And I was abusive.
I was stupid.
Yeah.
We were like oil and water, and she was always starting shit.
No, you were always
Guess
starting
that's hard
shit.
for a kid to get a new father.
Especially one like me. I just had no clue how to deal with her. Wish I did. But
Maybe like a human
we
being.
eventually made our peace. Anyway,
Honestly, the fact that he is lucky enough to still have a relationship with her after all that, like,
Yeah. I don't know. I think the only reason that she even does is related to you know,
Joyce,
in
right?
sorry?
Well, I'd have thought related to like Joyce dying. I would presume.
I think partly Joyce, because is Joyce dead?
Yeah, well, she would be in this playthrough.
In this version?
Yeah. If
Okay,
if
yeah, I
Chloe and
think we
Max
might
are
find
alive,
out
then
for
Joyce is
sure,
dead because
but-
Joyce is the one who has the phone call with him in the version where Max and Chloe, well, Chloe's dead.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so Joyce is probably dead in this
Yeah.
playthrough. We might have that confirmed.
Yeah,
Either way.
I'm pretty sure she
Um,
is.
But also, I think that in episode 5, you remember when there's a timeline where David finds Max in the dark room and
Yes.
you know, saves her, and then you can have a conversation with Chloe later where you have to convince her to kind of calm down and to listen to what you're saying, and you can say to Chloe, like, this isn't David's fault, David saved me. And because Chloe's headspace at that moment is that she's just so like worried about Max,
Yeah.
it completely like changes her perspective about David.
Yeah, that makes a good point actually, and yeah, the fact that Max saw that, I feel like that is the timeline that ends up happening if you save.
I think so, that David saves Max from the dark room, but he saves, yeah, so he saves Max in the dark room, but he never realizes that she has a
Yeah,
time
no,
traveling power.
he finds her down there, and then they end up killing Jefferson,
killing Jefferson,
and
or not, depending on what you
oh yeah, well,
do. I
I feel like he does, whether you choose to or not.
No, so he knocks out Jefferson. If you tell David that Chloe is dead,
Yeah,
then he kills Jefferson.
yeah,
But if you don't, then he's just like, oh my god, Chloe's okay, and he's
Yeah.
so happy, and he doesn't kill Jefferson.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, though, like, he in the timeline that ends up happening after all the bullshit, the actual thing that ends up happening that with all the power stuff is that, yeah, he does find Max and helps her. So, yeah, I think that does probably, yeah, that makes a lot of sense that it would influence how Chloe feels about him. Yeah.
Way. You can't go back.
Nope. Thanks for talking, David.
Better start my delivery now. Found some weird snacks in town. Arthur's gonna freak.
He's just like me for real.
Are they edibles?
Loves
Catch you
weird
later,
snacks. Oh, unless he means
Okay.
drugs.
I mean, let's be fucking real here. He would refer to edibles as weird snacks. Like,
I mean, I don't know. After him literally being the guy who's like, drugs.
Yeah,
These
but
kids are doing drugs. These
let's-
kids are so bad because they're doing drugs.
I'm pretty sure this commune probably,
You're probably right. But
like,
I think
they're in
it's
Arizona, you know?
yeah. I mean, I think David changing his mind about drugs is like quite a crazy thing. But,
Yeah, but I still think he would be weird about it, in which case he would
Yeah.
call them weird snacks. In my
Right.
opinion. That's my thinking.
No,
That's
that
my
makes
line of
sense.
thinking. He's like not 100% with it, so he's a bit like, weird snacks.
that makes sense. Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna melt.
That was awesome, Mom.
Now I know why they don't play baseball in the desert.
You throw way better than Sean.
We're not done out here yet. Let's get this food inside before it melts.
No problem. She is so cool. You think?
Joanne is so cool. Stanley's so cool. The heat is so cool. You're way too easy, bro.
Whatever. Can't help it if I like Taryn.
Just be you and I know. I'm just saying. Don't get too cozy.
I think
This is a rest stop.
I know.
I saw someone point out that like Sean looks more like Esteban and Daniel looks more like Karen.
I see that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Sean has like the longer face that Esteban has, whereas I think
Oh,
Karen's face is a
hey,
bit rounder.
I gotta go help Joanne
I think
with
you
your
can really
sculptures.
see it when you see grown up Daniel.
Don't let me
Yeah.
stop you.
See you later, Mom.
And grown up Sean for that matter with the facial hair and
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I never ate my
Pancakes.
pancakes.
Hope my crops will make it.
Daniel's Big Ten late birthday party
Is that a new
made him feel
statue?
so happy.
That woman is amazing.
Looks like they all finally found their home.
This is cute.
there are some people in there that we don't meet.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it's like people in the other trailers, or like maybe
Yeah.
they're away for that particular. Because they talked about like it's busier in like summer and stuff, or Christmas.
It's smart that everybody takes turns shopping.
Feels like 100 degrees in that fucking trailer. 105 degrees out here.
One thing Claire and Karen have in common, their love for pancakes.
I love that he's just picking up a pancake and like biting into it like a sandwich right now.
That's so real of him. I respect it.
Yeah, but like no toppings? Not even like a little butter, a little
Brody's so
maple
good at
syrup?
describing
Maybe they have
painful
sugar in them.
situations.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a
And so
dry
many
ass
good into it.
pancake.
I know, but he doesn't give a shit.
Charlotte's like, I know, I don't fucking care.
Like, sorry, you're depressed. Like, you know. You know what it's like. Sometimes it's just you're doing it.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
I'm just saying that if you get like a little butter or a little maple syrup and you put it on the pancakes, then that will go a lot further to curing your depression.
You're
It's
right.
not, I'm not talking about like you know, like a whole thing. But like if the maple syrup is right there.
I'm not disagreeing with you here. I'm just saying that sometimes.
I mean, you're also not wrong. You're also not wrong.
He doesn't have any clean plates, is my thinking, and I personally would not be cleaning up a plate to eat a pancake. So
yeah, but I wouldn't be using a plate. I would be an
but if you're putting a little
about
bit
it,
of butter,
and I would hold it in my hand, and I would put some maple syrup on it in my hand.
Yeah.
And then I would fold it.
Yeah.
And then I would put it in my mouth.
Sorry, I'm just reading some of this. Okay, yeah, that's not.
Oh, this is Brody's.
I miss you too, sis.
Aww.
Hope we can take some new pictures someday.
Free the families.
Be seeing you again, brother, and then we rage.
Yeah.
She's so getting radicalized.
And like she's doing some direct action. She's obviously joined the Free the Families thing. She's obviously got some kind of like group that she's doing something with. Lila.
I love that for her. Such a Lila fan. I don't know how like we managed to see a character for literally like 2 seconds.
I had no
and
clue
love
there
her
was
so
a
much,
network
but
of
I
seed
really
pirates.
Pirate seeds.
Karen's a real life hacker.
Oh, so this is some fun that I learned not that long ago.
Native seed savers.
Yeah.
As in like indigenous.
Yeah,
people?
but also so it will be like native breeds to certain places. So I think she's trying to make sure she's growing what is native to that place rather than like trying to use polytunnels.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah. Which is cool, but I'm wondering if indigenous people are involved in the
probably they probably are, because they will probably be the #1 cultivators of a lot of these breeds, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of them will have mostly died out because of capitalist farming methods.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, something I learned not that long ago, because I got a garden a few years ago and wanted to like start growing stuff. So obviously most of our food, like our vegetables and stuff, have the seeds. The seeds aren't growable. So, or like they're a lot harder to grow because our food has literally been built, like grown to not be able to grow more, if that makes sense. Like the seeds you get from those foods are not viable seeds for the most part. So I get my seeds from like an organic seed company that use them from actual crops that are like the breeds of certain crops that you can actually still use the seeds from, basically. But yeah, so another way that capitalism has fucked up our food systems is you can't get free seeds. Yep. You can't get free seeds from the food you eat because they don't grow very well. So if you've ever had trouble growing anything, that'll be why.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, like amaranth, beans, squash, corn, that's all like, those would all be native to like those, like Arizona.
Yeah.
Karen takes on some small pieceworks for a living. Must pay better than poetry.
That is, that's another reason on my list as to why I would specifically want to live on this specific commune in Arizona, because eating beans and corn all the time sounds pretty great.
And squash and like grains. Oh, what a time. Not much rice though, I will say.
Yeah, that's sad.
Sorry.
It's
yeah,
okay.
something to bear in mind.
Can make corn tortillas.
True. And I mean, they still go shopping, so you can still get rice. It's just, it's not going to be grown naturally. Yeah. But no, I like that she does a little advice column about living in the desert. That's so slay.
Yeah, that's cute.
Love that.
Desert Life Weekly.
Slay.
I should be a VHS collector.
Oh yeah. That's so Life is Strange.
Karen letting us invade her space. Dad was an absolute fan of this movie.
Chupacabras
from outer
space. I think they were little nerds. Otherwise, look at them. Of course they were nerds. Ah, this is Cassidy's other letter.
Didn't realize how much I miss Cassidy's
Oh my god,
voice.
can I do the voice?
Yeah.
Can I do the voice?
And dude.
Hola, sexy boy. No more city boy. Okay, then what was that? I need to
Not
get in the
quite
zone.
right, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
I don't know what that was. Okay, I need to get in the zone. I'm doing Southern Belle. That's what I'm doing.
Oh,
That's
my
what I'm doing. I'm
stars.
getting in the voice. I'm Scarlett O'Hara.
Stella the Star. I'm Blanche Dubois.
Jake hooked me up with your P.O. box, so now you can't hide from your old crew anymore. I know you took off from the hospital, and I'm glad you're still going down to Mexico. We've all been fugitives on the run, but you and Daniel are the kings of the road. I hope you finally get back home. Of course, I'm not ready to settle yet, so we're all hanging out in Colorado. The idea is trying to get as far away from the West Coast as possible. Too many ghosts for now. Hard to believe Finn isn't here to start shit, and we don't miss him for that, but he'll get a few more songs out of me. We all want to remember him for his angels, not for his demons. I miss you. I would love to take a road trip out of this shithole, and it would be great to swim with you again, so you better let me know when you hit Mexico, Sean. Don't make me track you down. Here, I'll even give you my number, so no excuses. Love, Cassidy. I don't feel like that was as strong today.
I
but
enjoyed
still had a
it.
good
It's
time.
fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's all good. It's interesting that I'm pretty sure the letter is the same if Finn dies. So
Really?
the way she talks about Finn, it sounds like he's dead in this letter, right? But he's not dead.
that
He goes to
isn't
prison.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that either he goes to prison or he is dead.
But the way that she says, like, we want to remember him for his angels, not his demons, like, that sounds like he's dead. I don't know.
No, I think it still works because
It does.
they've made it like ambiguous enough that it still works.
Yeah. It's just interesting it's the same letter, basically.
Resources.
I mean, there might be some differences, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, her little drawing of a wolf in the
Aw.
campsite. A little wolf heart eyes.
Cute.
She's such a little nerd. I love her.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I love Cassidy. I feel like when we started this, we were like, you
I'm so glad Jacob and his
we
sister
got
are doing
complicated
okay.
feelings about Cassidy, but then I
He
feel
deserves
like
some
now
peace.
we're like, Cassidy's our girl. We
She's
love Cassidy in this house.
Girl, she just needs a fucking haircut to get those
She
dreads
just
out
needs
of
a
her
fucking
head.
haircut.
And then she's great. Then 10 out of 10, you know?
Honestly, 10
It does make me
10.
think the like particular choice of dreadlocks, especially when she had a black boyfriend, is interesting.
Or POC at least.
I feel like they say black specifically, but I
don't think they do specify. They just say he's
don't.
not white.
Maybe. Oh, maybe. That's a good point. It makes me think of like, so I had this friend at uni, and she had a friend who came to visit from like her hometown, and her friend had dreads, and loads of us were like, what
Like
the
white
fuck?
friend.
Yeah, this white friend, sorry. Yes. Assume if I'm talking about someone with dreads and I'm like making a face, it's because they're white. Just a general rule of thumb. Yeah, she was white, and she had dreads, and we were all sitting there like, okay, like,
Yeah.
you gonna have a conversation about that with her at all? And this girl literally was just like, look, I know, as in my friend was like, I know, I get it. However, actually, I don't think they identify as a girl anymore. I should not say that. Anyway, they were like, oh, yeah, I get you. However, in my town, having dreads is like a symbol that you're actually cool with. Like, you're like, it's a very liberal understanding of like racial politics, but like it's basically showing like, yeah, I'm cool with black people basically, because there's so many
they
races.
need to find another way to do
I
that.
know,
Yeah.
and I agree, but I'm wondering if it's maybe like a similar logic for Cassidy, where it's like, I don't know, like a small town thing of like, I'm edgy and different because I've got dreads, and that also means I'm more
maybe.
liberal, which again, not
Maybe.
I don't agree with his thinking.
No,
But
I think that there are quite a few white people who, now that you're saying
think that
it,
way.
like think that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can read out the Jake letter. Hola, Sean.
Why is everyone saying Ola?
People love to... Yeah. Sorry, I did not... again, it's cute when Cassidy does it.
It's cute when she does it.
But not when he does it. Like,
She's my white girl of the month.
Ew.
She's my white girl
Absolutely.
of the month. She can do a little racism as a treat. It's fine.
But also it was like she was actually trying to speak Spanish, right? Like it wasn't just like a little fun, like, I'm just doing
Yeah,
it
you're
to
right.
be spicy. It was like she actually tried to speak Spanish to Sean, which again
yeah.
feels different than if people are just like, I'm speaking to a person I know speaks Spanish, so I'm just gonna throw in a little hola for vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Like Finn. God, Cassidy really is our girl, isn't she?
Yeah, I know. We've come out of this experience literally being like, that's our girl.
That's my white girl. I'm
That's
sorry.
my white girl.
I'm sorry.
We can't help but stand.
Again, I'm gonna sit her down and get her to cut her hair and like not have dreads anymore and explain to her why that's bad. But like, she's still
But
my
that's
girl.
my girl.
otherwise.
Yeah.
In the context of this game, that's my girl. Hi Sean. Hola Sean, sorry. Sorry I did not write to you sooner, but this was the first time I've had a chance to relax after we got out of Haven Point, thanks to you and your brother. I still can't believe it really happened. So bizarre. So, Sarah Lee and I do miss our parents, but we're not ready to let them know where we are yet. We will figure it out later. With the money you gave me, I could pay a month's rent in advance for a room in a small beach town on the coast. Sarah Lee loves it. She's doing much better now. She's much better now thanks to the antibiotics. We're doing great. The most important thing to me is my sister, just like your brother. You're lucky to have each other, and we were blessed when you both came our way. I've been trying to track down our Humboldt crew, so I'll keep you posted. I hope everybody's okay after that night on the farm. We all deserve a break and a better future. Please let me know when you make it to the other side. You and Daniel got this. Give our little hero a big hug. Take care, Jake.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're doing good.
I like the, comparison to how he feels about his sister with, how Sean feels about Daniel. Yeah, I don't know. Just, yeah.
So cute.
Ah.
Looks like Lila has some competition now.
Hi, Daniel. Hope you are good and happy. I feel so much better now. I'm so happy I got to see the ocean for the first time. Even tried to surf. I think I could be good at it. I wish you were here so we could go to the beach, even if the water is cold. I love this weather way more than the heat. Traitor.
She's so real.
Please come see us soon. Thanks for being one of my best friends, Sarah Lee.
That's so cute.
Heart.
I
She's so
love
cute.
the despite everything, Sean's still doing the when parents are like, oh my god, he's gonna be such a little lady killer when he grows up, he's still doing that with Daniel. He's like, oh yeah, he's got another
"Oh my God,
girlfriend.
my son is hanging out with a girl his age.
Yeah.
They're absolutely going to date. Get a grip, he's 10.
Literally.
Karen looks so young and fragile on this picture.
She looks miserable.
Yeah.
Hard times.
Summer 2011.
I wonder if that's... Yeah, so we're in 2016, 17. I guess 17 now.
Yeah, so that's
And
6 years
she left not long after Daniel was born. So this is after she left.
Yeah. I don't know for sure, and again, I don't want to get into the politics of appearing cis, but I'm wondering if it's hard to tell from the picture, but I'm wondering if her friend's trans.
Yeah. Again, it's not something that we have any other evidence on.
Yeah.
And also in terms of the shading and the lighting,
Yeah,
I
it
think
could just
similar
be
is
weird.
true on Karen's face.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Either way. Not important, but I was just interested.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I don't think we get any other clues though.
No.
Karen must have been so excited to finally hit New York.
I won't read. Oh, you can read it if you want. Sorry.
Fly by night, not by fright, into the big city bright. Stop, that cliche never dying in the steel of the buildings, the warp of the street, but no matter what or where I spin, the pull of a million dead poets takes me to dance once again. Go, but this time I get to lead until the next flight.
It's Interesting that she's framed that one.
Yeah.
Either Karen was desperate for a job, or she loved working with kids.
I think the second one would be slightly ironic, but yeah. Isn't it ironic?
Whoa.
Oh, fucking hell.
I hope Karen sends this to Claire and Stephen.
Okay, I'm gonna read this one from Karen.
Okay.
Hi, Mum and Dad. I've been thinking about this letter for a while, and I know it's been a long, long time coming. So I'm sitting here tonight thinking about the words I should have written 10 years ago. You always used to say everything happens for a reason. Crossed out. We thought about it then. I understand why now. There's a reason I feel like I have to reach out to you both tonight from the desert. I know you've only heard from me once by phone and 6 times by letter for almost a decade. Crossed out. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, and I was certainly not trying to punish you. Crossed out, like you told me. Don't laugh, but I just didn't know what to say or write. Poet's block. Just like how you had to block me from your life after I left Esteban. I understand that was how you had to deal with, crossed out, a problem child. An only child who didn't live up to your expectations. There's no denying that I failed you, but the crossed out burden, weight of your aspirations as parents failed me too. You had such a rigid opinion of what I was supposed to be that I didn't have the crossed out opportunity to explore who I actually was. You wanted a daughter to grow up happy, find a good job and a great husband, settle down, crossed out, to breed, have kids and raise them in faith to continue the cycle of suburbia. Crossed out, that daughter wasn't me. I know that you were raised in a different time and culture, so I didn't understand your point of view. Like you didn't understand your wayward daughter. Maybe a bridge too far for us at the time. After Danny was born, you knew I wanted to take, crossed out, a break, some time to figure things out in my head and heart. It didn't make sense to, crossed out, you or Dad, and I get that, but crossed out, you didn't see how, not crossed out. I was so desperate, and only Esteban was willing to give me that time because he saw how unhappy I was. I don't blame you for my decision to leave, and maybe a timeout would have led to the same outcome. We will never know, and I try not to live in regret. My life has been a roller coaster, and there have been times that I longed to hear your voices and thoughts. Crossed out, even the negative ones. And I know when I last talked to you in New York to ask for help in paying back my debts, you wanted to help. But it was on your condition to return right back to where I couldn't return. I hate that was our last conversation. I'm sorry I reached out to you this day. I'm sorry I broke your hearts. I'm sorry I let you broke mine for silencing me for so long. I think we've paid our dues. And now I sit under a blue field of crystal stars like the poet I hope I am, writing and waiting for a chance to rebuild an old bridge with my mother and father. I hope we can cross it one more time. Crossed out, love, your daughter.
It's interesting that Claire / Stephen, but mostly Claire, also kind of extended a conditional offer of help to Karen because of how we were talking about her behaving that way with Sean and Daniel as well.
Yeah.
It's also very Emily Gilmore.
I was literally about to say it makes me think so much of like Gilmore Girls because I've been rewatching it recently, and it's such an Emily Gilmore thing to do of like, I'll give you help but it's conditional, like always. And yeah, I mean it's one of the things that makes Emily Gilmore such a fascinating character, but I feel like we see differences with Emily Gilmore, whereas that we don't see obviously with Claire because we don't know her as well. We only see her for a bit, but yeah.
It's also why Gilmore Girls are so triggering for me.
Yep. I mean, it's interesting because I think Emily is one of my favorite characters, not because I think she's a great person, but because I think she's fascinating.
Yeah.
And if Claire wasn't doing literal racial violence when being the way that she is, I mean, obviously I think Emily Gilmore is very much capable of racial violence, don't get me wrong, but we don't see that in the context of Gilmore Girls because the Sherman Paladinos don't have the range for that. But
we do a little bit in the context of like
guess.
her housekeeper and
yeah, that's true. That is true. And even just like being part of the Daughters of the American Revolution is a choice. TM.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we don't see it as like in the way that we see it here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I think
yeah,
she makes for a very interesting character.
Yeah, and I think Claire is an interesting character. I think that you're right to point out that we don't have like loads of time with them.
And I'm not saying that we need to give them more grace, because I don't think we do at all.
No.
But yeah.
No, definitely not. But yeah, no, that just stuck out to me. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's really good at rewriting her own life.
I don't know if we need to read all of these, to be honest, but
This one's pretty intense. I think I get it.
yeah, I don't know. Just interesting. Is that mine?
It's a very interesting moment for him to make.
What, that it's intense?
She's good at rewriting her own life.
Yeah. I mean
that's very loaded.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very... I think it's the sort of thing that I would think if I... Like, for instance, if someone I knew really well at one point in my life and now don't know very well, like, wrote something about that time, or, like, wrote something that kind of referred to that time, I would definitely be like, you know, like, I'd be like, interesting that you thought that, you know? And I can completely see why... I definitely see why Sean would say that, because I think so much of, like, Karen's writing is really good, but it is also very, like... I mean, everyone's the main character of their own story, right? Like, it's very...
Yeah, but it is very, like, me.
empowering to herself.
I'm me. I'm suffering.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break free from that suffering.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that that's, you know, very understandable. I think that, you know, if he's talking about like her rewriting her own life, I think that it's notable that like in a lot of that poetry, there's very absent. What's very absent is like the harm that she's caused to other people.
Yeah. Yeah. And like she doesn't even like mention her family even slightly in a lot of them, and again that's as in Sean and Daniel, and I don't know, yeah, it very much takes out of that context of like, I have done harm, I am in pain, you know, like that kind of I'm in pain because harm has been done to me, rather than I am in pain because I have done harm.
Which, I mean, that's very white woman of her.
Yeah, she's a white poet.
Sure is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting.
She was that close. Sucks she had to pay all that money back.
Right, so she submitted a poetry manuscript and
then
breach of contract?
Yeah.
What was the breach of contract?
She didn't submit it in time.
Oh. And she had to pay
back
$10,000. Fuck.
I mean, that must be why she had to talk to Claire and Stephen, right?
Claire and Stephen for money. Yeah.
Because she was in debt. But I mean, I'd imagine that's partly because she was obviously not in a very good place at that time. So it was 2010, the contracted deadline of June the 1st, 2010. Despite repeated efforts to accommodate you as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she did say that she wasn't very good at making plans.
Yeah.
Huh. Is that the same person who rode her back in Beaver Creek?
Hi, Rumi.
If you wanna go,
Yes, I
Valley
know
Girl.
NY in August is hot as balls. You did say you like the heat, but my apartment under the roof can be really suffocating. Don't want to rub it in, but Aspen is my new summer home. Daily temp around 70 degrees Fahrenheit and a hot tub at night. Anthony's cabin is more like a ski lodge. Next trip, maybe you can tag along. Poets Retreat, best cure for your writer's block. And please let me know you can pay me back for August rent. I definitely need it for the next month. And up here in Aspen, I'll see you on September 5th instead of the 4th, so put your clothes on. Stay out of trouble and remember to water my babies this time. Love ya, Emma. There's a lot going on here.
That made me feel a lot of feelings.
Hello,
hi,
Marshmallow
Marshmallow
Melmel. Welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing and being subscribed for 2 months.
And giving us your sweet, sweet Amazon money. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I think it's interesting that there's like, she mentions like a ski lodge or like a summer home elsewhere in like a cold place, and that just makes me think of that.
And then she's like, I need your rent money.
Yeah, but well, yeah, that. But I was also thinking that kind of almost calls back to episode 2 where they're staying in that abandoned lodge near mountains as well.
That's a really good point.
But
That's a really good point.
but yeah, absolutely. Like she's got a ski lodge, or her partner, I guess, has like a ski lodge in Aspen. And
yeah, and the fact that she has a second home, she has a summer home, and she's being like, pay me my rent.
Yeah, pay me more rent right now. And presumably from the fact this was at in the same box as the letter, this might have been when she just had to pay back 10k as well.
10 grand.
Yeah.
Well, what a piece of shit.
Yikes. Also, remember to water my babies this time. It just, yeah.
This is Emma's passive aggressive and a horrible rich.
Yeah, August the 4th, 2010. And then hang on, I'm just going to look again. The letter
She was that close.
June the 1st,
So she had to
2010.
pay all that money back.
So yeah, this was after. That was after she'd had to pay back 10k.
It's interesting that she keeps that stuff.
Huh. Is that the same person who wrote her back in Daily Pig?
It's like hidden in a little box though. So I don't know if it's like a fond memory. Blah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's interesting keeping it at all.
Yeah, it is odd, isn't it? Don't know. Well, if it's someone who wrote to her back in Beaver Creek, maybe it's like an old friend and like.
Well, then it could, I don't know.
Could be like an old friend who's like married rich or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's also the chance that it is connected to the like abandoned house that we see in Beaver Creek. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just.
I didn't think it would be the same thing, especially because Aspen is obviously not where they were. But because I think Aspen's in like the Alps. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I guess.
Let's find out. But I'm pretty sure Aspen is like France or like Alps area, Switzerland.
Yeah, maybe it's.
Oh
not the
no,
same
it's in
people,
Colorado. But... Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense because like, why would Americans go all the way?
Yeah, but I mean, again, if they're rich, was what I was thinking. But yeah. Okay, yeah. So that was in Colorado, but yeah, so it wouldn't have been where they were. But yeah, that is interesting. It's just like a strange little like link, I suppose.
Yeah, even if it's just thematic.
Yeah. But it's also
good
interesting that
point.
obviously we worried when we were staying at that ski lodge, like, oh, won't someone miss this? But it was like so clearly someone's like second home.
Second home.
Yeah.
I had a sequence in Baldur's Gate that I was playing a couple of days ago where I finally am in Act 3. It's a fucking enormous game.
So there's a lot of acts, aren't there?
Yeah, there are 3 acts, but there's so much content. But
I
anyway,
see.
so I finally reached, in Act 3, you finally reached the city of Baldur's Gate, and there was
I
this
should have gone
sequence
through that flash drive weeks
quite
ago.
near the beginning where, like, this rich guy is like, these squatters are in my house, and you have to, like, choose what to do as the character and how to navigate the situation and stuff. So obviously, I killed his mercenaries and coerced him into letting the squatters stay in his house.
Obviously.
Obviously.
As everyone should.
And he was like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna live? And I was like, I'm sure you'll be fine.
You own a house, I think you're good, mate. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Misty Mice Tickets .pdf.
Sorry, I'm just gonna... My friend just messaged me about something.
And my question is, can we see
Yeah.
the tickets?
No.
Hey, Dad.
No.
Oh, okay. I enjoy pictures as well when you've put caps lock on wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, hi,
Hi,
Austin.
Austin.
Welcome.
Welcome in.
I hope everyone's having a good Saturday.
Aww.
Aw. So, does she have that picture of that? Is this her computer?
No, this is her. This is Sean's USB, but he's had this USB the whole time, but he hasn't had a laptop to put it in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he had access to all of this the whole time. Technically, he just didn't have a way to access it. Sure. Daniel's Hot Dog Man shirt.
Amazing. No notes.
Yeah. It looks like Esteban's wearing a Christmas jumper, so it's probably like
he is.
Christmas.
I think.
Lila always knew how to crack me up.
Oh,
Man.
I know.
I guess like he didn't get to take any photos or anything with him when obviously he was violently displaced from his home.
Yeah. Yeah. They just haven't had photos of themselves for like several months. Half a year.
And all he had was that passport photo to remember his dad by and the lighter.
I have to admit, I do miss that Pacific Northwest weather sometimes.
Yeah, I bet.
You've been here over a month now.
He's like, I bet you're a white woman.
Our little oasis?
Yeah, I bet your white ass, Mrs.
Bet your white ass, Mrs. Pacific Northwest.
He's like, yeah, I know. You're the reason why I burn up in the sun.
Yeah, this is your fault.
I mean, we like it, so I think maybe we should give a positive response.
Yeah, I want to say everybody's cool, maybe.
Yeah. For people who are
Everybody's
just
very
joining us
cool
now,
and
we've
way
been singing
different.
the praises
Can't
of
even
living in a
believe nobody's
commune in
freaking-
Arizona.
Yeah.
This is the life.
Well, I don't want to be in Arizona specifically, but you do.
I want to be in Arizona specifically.
Hot, somewhere hot. For me, I would rather be in the Pacific Northwest, but again, I'm not built.
So basically, what we're getting at here is that I'm gonna start a commune in Arizona, and Charlotte's gonna start a commune in Oregon.
Yeah.
And based on what your weather preferences are, you can come and join us in either of those communes.
I mean, I will come and visit your commune in Arizona, obviously.
And vice versa.
I would like to say hi, but like,
me too.
I just don't think I would thrive in that environment personally.
Yeah. No, and yeah.
I would be a little red crisp.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah.
What about Daniel's power?
Well, Sean.
God,
still hard for me to
nobody's
wrap my head
joining.
around it.
Nobody's joining me.
But people
I think
here
Doesn't know that
get
we have too many white people. in the
Yeah, I was
business
gonna
community.
say, like, people will join you. Just
Yeah, I
not the
love you
people in
guys,
chat.
but come on.
It's okay. I don't think you want your commune to be all white people either.
It's
to be
true.
fair.
That's true. That's true.
My commune will be working on being better allies, and your commune you can just relax. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's good.
space. They have their own past too. That's why people come here from all over the country. For their own reasons. Not perfect, but it works.
I'm gonna say so peaceful here. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
don't
to
think
say.
like I feel like you live as outcasts kind of implies that it's just about it's only about the fact that so many people were like rejected or not felt like they didn't belong in their homes or communities that they were born into. But it's not just about that, it's also about like building like a new community
Yeah.
and like a healthier and kind of, you know, more sustainable community, i.e. communism on a tiny scale.
Hello, Arthur. Oh, is that so? You heard it here first, people.
I don't think I heard him.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Oh.
Oh, he's back. He's over there. Hang on.
We've got two cats
Oh.
in the background.
Ugh.
They're just hanging out.
They really are.
They're just
Hang
gonna watch the game.
Hey, guys. You good? What's going on, little boy?
She's looking at him.
She's like, don't you
what are you
fucking
doing
dare come
in
into
my
my
space?
He won't go in that bed. It's fine. She doesn't need to worry. You don't. I promise. He wouldn't do it.
Saf was not built to live in a commune.
No. Saf is not a collective thinker. She is not.
She's a capitalist. She's a capitalist individualist thinker.
A capitalist.
Capitalist.
Yeah. No, she's more of a dictator, honestly, I think. In
Oh,
her ideal
yeah,
world.
yeah. That's understandable, yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm just sorting my camera out now. I've gone and mushed where it was. Enjoy
Gonna
my
get
hand.
the top of the Palestine flag in there as well.
Top of the Palestine flag and Saf, and Arthur will move around, so I'm not going to keep him in the frame because he'll just be annoying about it. I'm going to say so peaceful here.
Yeah, let's go.
It is so peaceful out here. Guess that's what everybody's really looking for. Peace.
You're probably right. Yes, I still feel like we're really privileged out here.
He's off.
There's bad shit going on in this desert.
Yeah. I don't think you can ever really get away from everything.
You can't escape reality. Even here. We just live slightly apart from it.
This is interesting because there's something to be said for like wanting to remove yourself from the rest of the world, and I think that that's where you can kind of critique this sort of system in the sense that, like, you know, you can create your little commune and try to be like removed from the rest of the world, but I think that, you know, part of our thinking should be I think that part of our thinking first should be that, you know, nobody is free until everybody's free, you know, so we should be kind of fighting for better conditions for everyone and a redistribution of wealth and resources for everyone. But also, like, I'm a pretty strong believer that communism needs to be a global project.
Yeah.
And I mean,
But it's not really
not to get into kind of theory on stream, but it's one of the big reasons, you know, it's one of the big divergences that Stalin had, you know, famously from classical Marxism and also from like Leninism and Trotskyism, is his idea of like socialism in one country, which was basically like a euphemism for him wanting to be a dictator, right?
Yeah.
Which was, you know, massively divergent from a lot of Marxism and versions of Marxism up until that point, which were arguing, I think rightly, that communism needs to be a global project. We need to have a global revolution. So that's interesting. Yeah, and the fact that this commune is called Away as well, you know, and they're talking about kind of apartness from the rest of the world,
Yeah.
is quite interesting, actually.
I think to me, and again, this might seem like a bit of a weird connection, but that's how my brain works. You know, when we talk about, like, in the context of, like, Palestine, how, like, Israel was created as a way to supposedly be a safe haven away from anti-Semitism, right? In theory, obviously.
Yeah, if we accept that.
Practice,
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
accepting that, but if in the theory of what it was, and that is what the idea or the propaganda that draws a lot of people to live in Israel, right? Or live as Israelis in Palestine. But as I think a lot of people more knowledgeable than me have made the point that you can't trying to remove anti-Semitism from a society would be a much better use of time and money than, you know, trying to create your own society away from anti-Semitism, right? But also, I mean, as we objectively know, it has not worked if that was ever the goal, because the concept of Zionism is in itself anti-Semitic. It's the idea that there is this one collective, sorry, after I just yelled, this one collective Jewish people, you know, when that's not how Judaism operates as a faith. It's also not like Jewish people are so many different ethnicities, from so many different places across the world, and it doesn't really reflect that to have like a one state, especially one that is so violent and so racist. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's interesting in context of that, because you can't change the world you can't change society by trying to leave society, right?
Yeah.
And I think there are some ways in which, like, we talk about certain institutions, like people try... Arthur, please! I'm trying to make a point. God.
Not rude.
I think we talk about, like, certain institutions, like when people are like, oh, well, I'm going to change this institution from the inside. I think that's always very flawed thinking, like when people try and become a police officer to try and make policing better, and it's like, that's always going to be flawed and bullshit, because that's not... that institution will not benefit from trying to be better. The whole point of that institution is to be terrible. You can't, you know, you can't really, like, you can't be a better cop. That's not a thing. You are still enacting violence through the law. That's your job, you know?
Yeah.
You can't change an institution from the inside. However, when it comes to, like, societies and the way people live, not the way people work, but overall with the way people live, it is better to have, while obviously, and I mean, this is something I deal with, I think about, like, you know, going and joining a commune on a daily basis, obviously, because I live under capitalism, and I have to work under capitalism. But if I were given the opportunity to, I would still probably not want to cut myself off from the whole world, because it's not productive for me to do so. You still have to... we all still have to be doing the work, but we also have to be encouraging the people around us to do the work and living in community with people, even if we haven't chosen to be in community with them. And I think that's really important. Like, we can't just opt out.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a vital part of our work to not opt out of these conversations, of these discussions, of these struggles. Even though it's tempting, and even though the world can suck a lot in a lot of ways a lot of the time, it's not the solution to leave it, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Or to try and, like, create something separate, because actually you're just making it harder for everyone by...
Yeah.
And, like, you're not, like, for instance, like, the more people we have who are active members of society, who are thinking collectively, who want to do the best for everyone and not just themselves, the better society will become, the better our world will become. And yes, okay, there aren't many of them out there, especially in power, because that's how power structures work. But I think, I don't know. I think the thinking of trying to get away from it all is flawed, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And I think those are some fantastic points, and the only thing I would add is, like, I guess first that it's unsustainable, because like, if we don't make that change kind of on a wider scale, then you are not going to be able to live in your little escapist commune fantasy indefinitely. Because there's no security in that. It's not sustainable. And then the other thing I would add is that I don't want to be the kind of person who runs away and finds comfort for myself and then can live happily like that, because I don't want to be the kind of person who can just be like, well, I'm comfortable, so I don't care about what anyone else is going through. And I think that ultimately, like, that's part of it as well. And I think that the comparison with Zionism is really apt, because, like, I don't know what it says about a person that, because I mean, Zionism at its core as an ideology has always said that it believes, I don't believe this, it believes that anti-Semitism can't be eradicated, so let's just all move to a different country. Like, if we're following that logic, like, what
as
kind
an
of
ideology, right? It's literally giving up.
It's giving up. it's giving up on trying to make the entire world a safe place for Jews and all people, which is so horrible when you really like deep it.
And again, like, I would like to say that it's not out of a lack of empathy that I say it's giving up, because I completely understand those who have experienced horrible anti-Semitism feeling like it's not going to ever change in their lifetimes. Like, I can empathize with that feeling, right?
Yeah,
to an extent, as I'm a white person, I have a lot of privilege, but that doesn't mean that I think that you should escape or try and leave. I don't know. I think it's that's not the solution.
Yeah.
Israel's definitely not the solution. Like.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But
thanks for joining, Austin. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Austin. You too. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, to be able to be like, well, I'm going to go and move to this country, and, you know, even if we took it for granted that Israel is a safe place for Jews, which it's not, that that means that you're completely happy for the, you know,
the majority of the Jewish diaspora.
Yeah, the like vast amount of other Jewish people who live across the world to live in unsafety, like that's just fine.
Yeah.
Because it's literally not fine, and it's never going to be fine.
No.
But yeah, so I think that that's kind of like a critique of this commune idea, and it's interesting that that this kind of gets brought up here, and like what Karen's saying about them still being quite privileged, and the fact that, like, you know, and stuff like that, and I think that, yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's just worth stating, because I know we've obviously been very pro-commie in this stream so far, but I just wanted to kind of also add, I guess. I'm just gonna message Chris because our friend is gonna get here a bit earlier. Sorry, we're having a friend stay over tonight, and I've just been like, I'm sorry, I'm streaming, but you can come from whenever and just hang out with Chris.
Okay. No props.
I think I'd ask, how did you find this place? I don't think I would say I couldn't live here, because
yeah,
I feel like, I don't know how Sean feels. I feel like Sean and Daniel are both enjoying being there, right? Like, I don't know if they would say they would live there forever, but they are enjoying there.
They're enjoying it, and also we don't.
Yeah.
We don't feel that way either.
Yeah.
So, how did you end up here? This place is not on the map.
Like most of us, I was first brought here by someone, Maggie. After I failed to make it in New York, I was lucky enough to meet her down in Florida. She's had a tough life. This place was her getaway. She's long gone now, but her name is still written all over this place.
Well, thanks for bringing us here.
Oh, Sean. I'm glad I was able to help you. By the way, can you grab your brother so we can all talk?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I just thought we could spend this day together. Just the three of us.
Big brother to Superwolf? We need you at Karen's trailer. Copy?
Sure. I mean, 10-4.
They're so cute.
Yeah, so that's Maggie from the photo on her fridge.
Interesting.
Hola.
Hola, compadre. How about a trek around the canyon today? You in?
Totally.
Let's pack then.
Yeah, maybe it's not the Grand Canyon, if only because there's presumably a bunch of tourism there.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, okay. So,
So they would
when I
need
looked at the map
somewhere.
earlier, the Grand Canyon is a lot longer than the tourist bit. It's like
Okay.
a really big and really long, and goes into California as well. So I think they're probably lower down, like further down than the bit that's the actual tourist attraction area. Because yeah, they wouldn't be able to just live there if that was like they would. It's probably like, you know, owned property that no one can live on.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, which ick, but
Well, I guess they don't call it grand for no reason.
yeah, it is hella big.
We should have camped near that little creek. It was so perfect.
Nah. You'll need a good night's sleep after all this. And the car's just half a mile down the path.
This place makes for a pretty cool bedroom, though.
Man, I'm beat.
Oh, sorry. Just got one last thing to show you guys.
I can't get enough of this place.
Come on, Daniel. Give me your hand.
Well, this all would have been made more realistic by seeing them sweat.
I mean, they are a bit sweaty. Or, like,
Slow down, Mom. You
can't
walk
tell
too fast.
properly, but
More walk.
he is a bit
less
sweaty.
talk. Then you'll pass me up.
I do feel like I would, if I did live here, I would definitely do more exploring at night, like, and especially as well if it's like, you don't, I mean, obviously there's dangers of living out in a desert and then like walking around at night, right, but it's a very different kind of danger to the danger I experience living in a city and walking around at night, you know, but I think
I feel
would,
like I'd be less scared in the doing it in the desert.
yeah,
so.
that's what I mean, I'd be like more than happy to just like wander around at night, you know. Hi, Fatal
Hello,
Rhythms.
Fatal Rhythms. Welcome. We're just hiking around the Grand Canyon.
Guys, check this out. Now this is nature's art.
That is
Oh, that's gorgeous.
stunning.
It's so
Stunning.
big and
Stunning.
pretty.
And so quiet. Except for the birds of prey. Shh. Listen.
Serious?
If we're lucky. Yeah.
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad. Yeah, we're just
I hear a wolf.
we've been streaming Life is Strange
careful,
2
hunters out
and
The Wolf Brothers can't be.
Sorry, I'll just pause it. So
stopping a lot to have some in-depth political discussions, which is what we usually do.
that's how we roll.
That's how we roll here at Game Assist. So if that sounds interesting to you, then yeah. And I think that we're kind of planning on talking a lot about borders to today because that's very on theme. And we're kind of linking things where possible to ongoing events in Palestine and kind of Palestine in general.
And no, don't worry about it, Fatal Rhythms. We're just trying not to like overlap like the game speaking and our voices because it can get a bit much when like we're trying to listen.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for the follow. I think
You
you must have
help us.
followed outside of the stream, but thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
You must hide all the time, Mom.
There's not a lot to do, but it's enough for me. Good thing Joanne likes to come with me.
Oh, I bet she
Girlfriend
would be
hikes.
fun to go hiking with.
Girlfriend hikes. Karen's
Not
living
when I
my
go too
dream.
fast.
She lives in a
She's all
commune in
about the journey.
Arizona. She
We
hikes with
usually
her
find a good
girlfriend.
pace. Usually.
Joanna's like Sean. They make art, so they stop to look at stuff. You're way more like me. Fast.
Yeah, I am like you, Daniel. So let's hurry up.
He's so cute. He just wants a mom so bad.
I know.
And now he's got two.
Oh my god, it's the dream.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Wish I were there. I was looking at Palestine-related fundraisers, couldn't find PCRF anymore, and saw Map, then saw this page as one of the channel's fundraising. Yes, we are indeed fundraising for Map. If you type in the command !Palestine in the chat, then that pulls up the link to our fundraiser. We're currently aiming for £1,500, and we're getting quite close to that goal, but once we hit it, we're going to be doing a giveaway because we've got some game codes that were generously donated to us in order to kind of have this fundraiser, and then we'll increase the goal again.
Yeah.
I love to come here to get away from...
Well.
away.
I bet.
It's the best spot.
Let's sit down.
I think I'm gonna up the heat on my electric blanket now.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
Literally living that grandma life.
So, hey, I do appreciate that you guys stuck around this long. Thank you.
I feel like maybe got to know you better, or you helped us a lot.
Yeah, I definitely don't think regret leaving us. That feels a bit like icky. Thank
you so much, Fatal Rhythms. That's really sweet of you.
And happy birthday in advance.
Yeah, happy birthday in advance. Yeah, you can share our fundraiser link at any time as well, like outside the stream. Yeah, and also I was going to say we've got another command for folks, which is !BDS. If you type that into the chat, then you get the link to the BDS website, as well as the Decolonize Palestine website, which are useful both for folks wanting to learn more about how to kind of get involved in actions to support Palestine, because this is a political crisis, as always, not just a humanitarian crisis. And also you can learn more at Decolonize Palestine, which is a great resource.
We do
love me some BDS.
We do love some BDS.
We love BDS here. We talk about it every stream.
We really do, and yeah, and we'll continue to. And yeah, we love the heated blanket life. Grandma core. I've realised, because basically the room I stream in is like our home office, and it gets so fucking cold in here because it's literally just like an extension with like nothing around it, so it's literally, and it's like poorly ventilated, and you know, it's a new build. What are you gonna do? So yeah, this has been a huge saviour for when I'm sitting out here. I kind of want to say got to know you better.
Yeah, go on then.
It was good to get to know you better. See your life.
This place is pretty cool. It's like Fury Road, but nicer. I got to learn about living
without
in
the
desert.
fury.
Yeah,
hiking
without
canyons,
fury, Osa.
counting stars.
You're a natural-born explorer.
Oh, P.
It's hard to believe you two are actually out here with me.
Miss P is here.
I was
She
lucky we had
is.
this chance.
I think you've arrived in time to see my cat. Oh no, she's going back out
She's
again.
off. She's like, no, I'm not ready for my starring role yet.
Is she Chickpea? What is she doing?
Vibing.
She's just standing by the door. If she comes back over, then I'll pick her up.
So real.
Just know I love both of you so much. And I'm proud of who you are. And where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, Starbucks coffee is shit anyway. So
Yeah,
it's
it
no
is.
big loss.
It is. It's bad. Yeah. Find a nice like little crunchy local hippie coffee shop that. Yeah, it'll be better. I really realized like, because I didn't, when I went to the US, I was lucky enough to go to like areas that have like pretty decent coffee shops and stuff, but I didn't realize how hard it is to find like an independent coffee shop that isn't like a diner in the US a lot of the time. Wild. Anyway, what was I gonna say?
Well, it's a very different food culture there, and I think that part
Yeah.
of the reasons that diners exist is because it's like a cheap independent business.
Yeah, for sure.
Which
feel
is
like I
also
was
good for
gonna-
truckers.
Say something about Karen and it's gone.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it'll come back.
She said something. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Could have been cool for Karen if she wasn't an only child, because I feel like she'd have been a great aunt.
Yeah, that's such a good point. That's such a good point. Yeah.
If she hadn't had all the pressure to be the one to have kids, because she was the only child. And I mean, not that she wouldn't have also felt that pressure, especially if she was, like, the only girl or something, because I know that, like, friends I have who are, like, the only girl face, like, a certain level of pressure that their brothers don't. About having kids and stuff. But, yeah, had she had other siblings who would have been more interested in having children, I think she would have been really great at being an aunt figure in a kid's life. And
Probably
again,
also would have been so a little less like in the headspace where she thinks that her problems are kind of the biggest problems in the world. But
yeah, she has big only child syndrome, I will say.
yeah, she does.
There's something about Life is Strange loves an only child. Like, so many of the characters in Life is Strange games are only children, and I think that's so interesting. Because it's just not my experience. Like, I know, obviously I know only children, but, like, it's not the norm.
It is beyond my, like, realm of understanding. Like,
yeah.
Well, not entirely, because I did live, I guess, for a while as an only child. Like, I was kind of, my siblings left home, and then it was just me and my parents for, like, 5 years. But,
yeah, like...
But still...
But that's not the same as being an only child. That's just, like, a different... Like, that's still having siblings, but just the siblings are a lot older than you. But, yeah.
Well, and not at home anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, it's just really interesting how many characters in Life is Strange games are only children. I just find it wild.
Well, I think that we've talked about it a bit before, but Max Caulfield is absolutely an only child.
The most only child to ever only child, in all the wrong ways. But yeah, the fact that, like, Max, Chloe, and Rachel are all only children is really interesting.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that before, but you're right, it's a good point.
And I mean, it's part of why Max and Chloe are such good friends, right? Because they are only children.
Yeah, so, like, that's part of why they become so close. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it really interesting that it's so... Well, to be fair, though, in this game, and obviously in True Colours, like, the protagonists aren't only children, but obviously Steph is an only child as well, I'm pretty sure. And
I think she is, yeah.
Ryan definitely is. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of only children. Just a lot of them. I just wonder if there's a lot on, like, the dev team or something, and they think it's more normal than it is. I don't know.
I don't
think it's
actually,
but like,
well, it's not actually that common.
No. Like, it's not. It doesn't happen as often.
We got a middle child.
Oh, we got a middle child in chat.
So I'm a youngest child,
and I'm an oldest child.
So we in our previous streams, which you can catch up with on YouTube if you're less inclined, we talk quite a bit about kind of the our different perspectives on the sibling dynamic.
Yeah, especially like, as like a younger sibling and an older sibling, like how that feels. Yeah, but no, just an observation about Karen, really. But it's also very like interesting that she's an only child, and actually, again, I don't know, I don't think that like it would have changed her life completely, but because Clarence Stephen would still be Clarence Stephen, but there's just something about
I totally get what you mean.
I don't know, the level of pressure that they put on her would have been slightly lessened, I think.
Different. I think what do you want to say here?
I mean, I can see that she wouldn't want to come with us, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that she would want that.
And I don't think that's what Sean particularly wants. Like, I think he's happy to be with her right now, but like, I don't think he'd want to live with her all the time now. With everything that's happened. Like, obviously Daniel, I think, would have a very different response. Like, I'm sure he would want her to come with them, but as we said, he wants a mum so bad. When you grow up as an only child, you often have a best friend from birth that's like your makeshift sibling. Yeah, I definitely think that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's interesting as well with like a Max and Chloe type relationship where like it gets you know
Yeah.
gets fruity
Gets a little
because
fruity.
it's obviously like in some ways like a sibling relationship and in some ways like not.
Yeah,
Sibling relationship.
It's a complex
And-
relationship, isn't it? It's like
Yeah, I mean it's not one I've ever had, but it's one that I find very like compelling because I'm a lesbian.
yeah, it's very. There's something about like, I mean, there's always going to be something really compelling about like love coming out of friendship, full stop, right? But like,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
specific-
I love a friends to lovers.
Friends to lovers.
Friends to lovers arc. I love that shit.
Yeah, but also, yeah, specifically like a childhood friends, like growing up, discovering they're queer at similar times, like realizing they're in love with each other, like that.
Oh, that's it. That's the stuff.
That hits.
That hits.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they don't really act like siblings exactly, for sure. Like, I wouldn't say they have a
because
sibling
they're
dynamic.
like in love with each other.
Yeah. 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 I also think think we'll make it.
Karen, be honest.
I have a cookie. I'm gonna start eating.
Do you think we'll make it to Mexico?
You made it this far. Going through hell. I hope so, Sean.
Can we do a break?
You both
after
deserve it.
this scene?
But
Sorry, I felt like I agreed to a break earlier.
I
and
have
then
to be upfront with
forgot
both of you.
that we were gonna have one.
What happened in Haven Point is catching up on us.
Huh? What do you mean?
When we were in town, we saw some stories in the papers. The feds are definitely tracking us down in the region,
Shit.
and they'll find us.
Well, figures.
It's also kind of like I guess it
gonna
feels like
last
it's not
forever.
just that she doesn't want them there or to be with
So-
them, but also that circumstance.
This is it?
See you, Nana. We'll leave tomorrow.
Can you hand me that bag, Sean?
Also, yes, we are both in the UK. Don't worry about asking questions.
Oh, totally fine.
That's why I brought you back here. I made these for the 4th of July, but this is better.
Oh, I love those things.
This is better because fuck America.
Yeah, we're not celebrating the 4th of July in this house.
Especially not causing ecological devastation as a result.
Whoa, awesome.
Cool. Let's light up
Fuck
the sky.
America. Yeah. That's my sexual lighting. Where? I can see. Okay, yeah, I can see a little blue, purple, pink happening in the sky right now. Another shout out to Jonathan Morale for a beautiful soundtrack. Chickpea, you wanna join?
Chickpea has opinions.
Okay, hold on.
Pause it so that P can get her moment. No!
Where are you going?
P's been going through it the last few days, guys, so send your love to Miss Chickpea. She's been having a time, but she seems to be doing okay.
I have arrived with a P. I had to
P's
track her
in
down.
chat! P's in chat!
Okay.
Oh, baby P.
Hello. Hello.
Oh,
Miss
hello,
P had a
miss.
very hard week. She had a very, very hard week.
Yeah, I said just now. For
Hello,
everyone at home. But everyone send your healing love to P.
Oh. Look at her face.
She
She's so
is
grumpy about it.
not happy about it, but
She's not happy at all.
too lazy to do anything about that.
I'll put you down now, Pete.
Baby girl.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
She's like, I hate it.
She hates it here.
She does, but she loves it too. In her own little way.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I thought that you might appreciate a little chickpea time.
Always time for a little delicious little chickpea snack.
And thank you for sending love and healing vibes. I think she's doing a lot better now.
She definitely seems to be.
Yeah. She was really ill this week, gave me a big scare. Our house is woefully low on snacks.
Devastating.
Oh, well, I'm gonna fix it.
No, I'm just saying. Sorry, devastating for you.
Oh, I thought you said I'm never staying.
No!
I was like...
That's a changeable situation. No, I said devastating. As in, that's really hard for you. Like, I hope you're okay, you know?
Thank you, I'm alright. I managed to have a ginger nut and some crumpets.
Fucking love ginger nuts. What an underrated biscuit.
I know, my housemate loves them.
They're just
Loves
so good.
them. Like, we always have ginger nuts in the house. At any
That's the
given time.
correct stance.
Yeah.
I never had a biscuit tin growing up, as in like we as a family did not have the biscuit tin, but my aunt did. And it was always so exciting going to her house just because they had a fucking biscuit tin. And so when my parents would have tea, the biscuit tin would come out and I'd be like, get some Garibaldis going now. So yeah. Although I've never liked... What's your like, are there any biscuits in the kind of biscuit canon of general biscuits that you're not a fan of? Because I'm not really a nice biscuit girly, but...
I couldn't summon to my mind what nice biscuits are like.
They're like... I think they've got like a vaguely coconut vibe, which I think is why I don't like them that much. But they're kind of just plain otherwise. It's kind of like a sugar cookie, but like... not very sugary and not very buttery and with coconut. But yeah, they've never been my go-to.
Should we resume stream and then maybe we can
discuss
chat biscuits?
Yeah. We are on stream now.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I went back to Streamlabs gameplay, which means we're back. We should be. Are we streaming?
Oh, okay. So did everyone hear our conversation about biscuits?
They did, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm glad,
well,
because it's vital information.
It is vital information. I'm really partial to a chocolate digestive.
Yeah, a great biscuit.
Yeah,
A 10 out of 10
I
biscuit.
ran out of chocolate digestives yesterday, and today I was just like, I've made a huge mistake because I'm streaming today and I don't have any chocolate digestives left.
Chocolate digestives are a good streaming biscuit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's yeah, I'm a big fan of a chocolate digestive.
Yeah.
As I've said, I do really enjoy a ginger nut, but I think I'm just like big on chocolate. I'm gonna be so real. I'm just big on chocolate.
I agree.
I'm just really big on chocolate, and then a lot of chocolate bars are not nut allergy safe.
Yes, that's true.
But chocolate digestives are nut allergy safe. Now, the big question. Is a Jaffa cake a cake or a biscuit?
It's a No, wait, it's a cake. Sorry. Oh, nearly. It's a cake. It's called a cake. It is a cake. It's not a biscuit.
I think I agree with that cake.
I think my stance...
Although sometimes I think, why do we have to think in binaries?
We don't have to think in binaries. This is very true. I think my general stance is, if when it goes stale, it goes softer, it's a biscuit. If when it goes stale, it goes harder, it's a cake. And Jaffa cakes go harder when they go stale.
That is a solid science.
And I think I can be backed by science there.
Faye, biscuits and cookies are not quite the same.
But
it's a common misconception that they are the same, but they're not quite the same. They're in the same family, but they're different.
But
I don't.
they're
How
not,
would you
when
describe
we say
the
biscuit, we
difference?
don't mean like biscuit with gravy biscuit.
Yeah, we don't mean like American style biscuits.
So
Like savory.
I would
doughy
say
biscuits
our
with gravy.
biscuits are more like. So I'm thinking in terms of like bourbons and custard creams are very similar to the layout of an Oreo, but not the same.
An Oreo is a biscuit. It's not a cookie.
Yeah. I would call an Oreo a biscuit.
But how do you define the difference between a cookie and a biscuit? Like, it's actually quite difficult. Like, how would you? What's
In
the
my
Oxford
head-
Dictionary definition?
Personally, for me, I feel like a cookie is more not necessarily homemade, but has more of a homemade vibe. Which I guess
I think a
you
cookie is
can
like-
cook a biscuit. Like you can make a biscuit. I don't know. It just
No, a cookie is the ingredients are different. I'm almost
Yeah.
certain of that.
Yeah.
Like I think that cookies and biscuits have different ingredients and they
Yeah.
have different textures.
Yeah. Cookies tend to be
Um,
like chewy in the middle or like, you know, they have more they're different texturally, whereas a biscuit is like, I say a biscuit is pretty much like if you like snap it, it would snap rather than like kind of mush. A cookie is brittle. And a cookie is soft, a biscuit is brittle.
Yeah. So yeah, they have different textures.
Yeah.
They have different sizes.
Yeah. And yeah,
And I'm pretty sure that they have different ingredients.
yeah. So like Girl
Like
Scout
I think that a
cookies-
biscuit dough is different from a
Yeah,
cookie
so
dough.
cookie dough tends to be like more buttery and eggy, whereas biscuit dough is more like floury, like drier. Yeah, like so gingerbread I would say is soft. Unless you mean like a gingerbread man. There's like cake gingerbread and there's like snappable gingerbread.
Yeah, if we're talking about like a
ginger nut.
gingerbread biscuit, like
Yeah.
it snaps. She snaps.
She snaps. She snapped with that.
She snaps. That's how you know she's a biscuit. She snaps.
Yeah. It's important. It's an important distinction.
So it is important. If you've ever watched like Great British Bake Off, then
Yeah.
I feel like they discuss.
Oh,
this,
if a
exactly this quite a bit.
biscuit was soft on the Great British Bake Off, that would be underbaked. So, yeah, like hard
100%.
gingerbread would be a biscuit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, I think in my own personal understanding of the biscuit canon, of like the UK biscuit canon,
UK biscuit canon. Yeah.
I would
okay.
say biscuits are like shortbread, jammy dodgers.
I love a jammy
Fucking
dodger.
love a jammy dodger.
Oh my god.
Digestives, rich teas, nice
Yes.
biscuits, custard creams,
Yeah.
bourbons. A lot of the ones named after like dictators for some reason. I don't really, or like military generals. I don't really know why.
Yeah.
For some reason, so
Because Britain.
yeah, gotta, yeah. But like, so I've always named like, you know how you can like name your like iPhone or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Any like my phone or like iPods or whatever that I've had, I've always named after biscuits because my dad always named his after. This is so my family weirdness. My dad always named his after Catch-22 characters.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why, because there is a good reason why that's very Ernie family specific. But basically, my granddad was an editor for like quite a big book company, and he was friends with Joseph Heller, who wrote Catch-22 and got Catch-22 published in the UK for the first time. So like Joseph Heller owes a lot of his fame or like well-known, you know, book success basically to my granddad. So there's like a weird nepo baby thread there. So that's why my dad did that. But because I saw him do that as a kid, I was like, oh, I should do something like that. What should I choose to do? And so I chose biscuits. So I've always had biscuits called like Hobnob, Jammy Dodger. I think my AirPods at the moment are called Twix, which is because there's two of them. There's logic. But yeah, that's...
yeah. I think that
I did have someone go, why is your iPod called Bourbon once? And I was like, look, there's a reason.
Okay, I would say that like I enjoy a chocolate hobnob. I would prefer a chocolate digestive.
That's fair.
Despite the fact that they are chocolate, I'm not a huge fan of a bourbon biscuit. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I think
alright. It wouldn't be my first choice.
they're not really chocolate.
Yeah, well, I think that part of it is like the chocolate biscuit dough is not what I want. It's like I want like a little chocolate.
It's cocoa. It's not really chocolate. You know, it's like it's not what I would say is chocolatey. You know, it's just sort of like it's like Oreos, how they're not really chocolate. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy an Oreo, so maybe it's not exactly just the chocolate dough issue.
So,
but anyway,
I'm controversial in that I don't like Oreos very much.
Really?
I just think they're very overrated.
And whenever they are overrated.
I think whenever I eat them, I just like it tastes like cardboard to me. I don't know. There's just something off about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And like, I'm not enthused about a bourbon either, but like, I feel like bourbons to me have a little bit more flavor.
That's fair enough. Yeah, yeah. But like, yeah. So I feel like, conceptually, a chocolatey biscuit is a very good time for me. But that's my rating of the chocolatey biscuits.
That makes sense.
I think a classic shortbread, a classic Scottish shortbread,
like
unparalleled,
buttery, salty, sweet little shortbread.
So those are probably really Jammy Dodger, elite
biscuit,
10 out those are 10. Some of my favorite biscuits.
Although something about like, you know, when you get those big biscuit tins and they've got the like assortment, I feel like the Jammy Dodgers in those never quite hit the same. It kind of has to be the McVitie's
sullied.
They have, yeah,
by the other biscuits.
Oh, I would love shortbread. Shortbread is so good. Shortbread's so underrated. Like, why aren't we talking more about shortbread as a society? Like, what the fuck? Oh, clotted cream shortbread. Oh, my love.
Damn, I really wish I had some biscuits.
Sorry.
Right
we had a ginger nut.
Okay. I had a single ginger nut, and also I am having a lemsip, not a cup of tea.
Yeah, that's not really. Yeah, the sewing kits in the cookie tin. Yeah. To be fair, I know we joke about it being a brown house specific thing, but my family too. But my mum's a hoarder, so she's like, I see a tin and I'm storing shit in that.
Yeah, I mean, I am a brown household kid, obviously, and I can't tell you how many times I opened a tin thinking that there would be biscuits in it.
And there never are.
There never are.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Yeah, sad. Yeah, I also love a biscotti. I feel like a biscotti...
Biscotti is a great time, but is it a biscuit?
It is. It's just... Okay. It's not what I would say is like the classic English, like, canon of biscuits, but it is...
It's definitely not in the UK canon, but
no,
it's a biscuit.
But it is a good biscuit. It is a good experience for a biscuit.
Yeah.
Depending on the texture though, because some of them are like soft in the middle. That's not a biscuit. That's a biscotti. It's too different.
Honestly, I think that the trend in brown households might be connected to white grandmas, because the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of brown mums do things that white grandmas do because of British colonialism.
That is probably true, because again, I think my grandma was a biscuit tin, definitely had other shit in there vibe. Not necessarily a sewing kit, because my grandma didn't sew, but like some shit. It would not be biscuits in there. Oh, sorry, my friends arrived. Hopefully
like,
Chris isn't listening out.
It's like, I know everyone's family is different, but my grandmother, God rest her soul, loved the British. Like, I loved her so much.
Honey.
However, I think that if she were alive today, then there are a lot of things that we would struggle with. And
would she have been one of the people who visited the Queen's coffin and shit?
No, but like, so part of the reason why my mother is the way she is that my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, like basically taught her that the British were the absolute shit, and they sent her on like regular trips to the UK, and then obviously when they decided to leave to immigrate to the West, they chose England because they tried like going to America and all these other places, but they just love England so
they were
much.
Anglophiles.
yeah, like it's the internalized like white supremacy and stuff like that is so there. God bless. And I know that there are other brown households where that's the case. Fatal Rhythms is saying this in the chat, and I know that they're not the only one whose brown mother loved Princess Diana.
Yeah, I mean, Princess Diana, again, my mom was a big Diana fan. Hates the rest of the royal family, big Diana fan. But yeah, like, I mean, Diana, I think Diana transcended the royal family, let's put it that way. But yeah, like, yeah, that's really something. But yeah, no, it is interesting, the idea that, like, they did a lot of, like, white grandma shit, because I see that. I see that.
I do.
That's very my white grandma, anyway. But again, family of hoarders, so... yeah.
Okay, should we play the game?
Yeah, I guess so.
Very important biscuit conversation, though. I'm sure that will have some kind of bearing on the political education mission of
I just know it will. And let's be real, we did talk about the fact that a lot of them are named after, like, military generals, so...
I didn't know that. Like, which ones?
Bourbon, Garibaldi...
I've never had a Garibaldi.
Oh, Garibaldi's bang. They're like,
I didn't realise that Bourbon was named after a military general either. That's mad.
Yeah, I can't remember who or what. I don't really know the context. The only reason I know this is from a bit in The Young Ones. That's all I know.
Okay.
But Garibaldis are like sort of plain layered biscuit, but then they have raisins in.
Oh, I'm not. I gotta
you're
say
not a
this.
raisin.
I'm not a raisin fan.
Okay.
A biscuit with a raisin in it is not a bit of me.
Okay. I'm a raisin girly, but my uncle always called them squash fly biscuits. Because it worked. I love them. I love them.
Not raisins.
Sorry.
Not squash fly biscuits. Oh.
I'm sorry.
I'm with you, Fatal Rhythms.
So many raisin haters in chat. I fucking love
They're
a
all
raisin.
right.
I fucking love a raisin. I'm sorry. Sorry to say it. Sorry to this man.
So Bourbons and Garibaldis. Anything else?
Jammy Dodger. No, I'm kidding.
That would break my heart.
Are you guys all set up to leave?
No. Such we have to leave again. I think.
So, Garibaldi biscuits are named after Giuseppe Garibaldi, an Italian general who fought for Italian unification. I feel like Bourbon... Oh! Dead fly biscuits! That comes up in my Google, so... You know.
Lovely. Cos is saying that they've definitely heard them call squash fly biscuits before as well.
Oh. I don't know why Bourbon was called Bourbon though, maybe that was wrong.
This reminds me, I saw a pretty fantastic movie, really interesting movie the other day called The Lion of the Desert, which is basically about like the Libyan resistance to Italian fascism and colonialism. Pretty dope.
Sounds great.
Pretty dope. If you want to watch like a 2.5 hour movie about North Africans beating out their European oppressor, then it's a good time.
Sorry, I need to sneeze.
Oh, bless you.
Okay, got there in the
Oh,
end.
bless you.
I hate when you're like in that pre-sneeze moment and you're like, is it gonna happen? Is it not? Am I just gonna suffer? Oh, okay. I'm there.
Oh my god, 5:30 a.m. Faye.
Shit! Painting your nails though, Slay.
I'm kind of scared.
Oh, honey.
Karen, you could have been such a good mum and, like, just didn't have to...
I know, I also wanna throw into my head canon that Sean and Daniel set up their commune in Mexico, and Lila visits them, and Cassidy joins them, and also obviously they're, you know, they become involved in political organizing.
Yeah.
And then Karen and Joanne visit sometimes as well.
That'd be cute. And I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming cancer just because of the hair loss. But whatever it is that Joanne has is something she can live with / recover from, if that is the correct.
Does she talk about being sick?
Yeah, she said something about being sick earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming because she's probably had chemo. From the looks of things, she's had chemo.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I assume cancer. But yeah, I don't know.
Sad.
She definitely does reference it though.
What will you do now?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do now? Take off and hide?
Not this time. I can't just run from this forever.
Thank you.
So I'll
Gross.
do what I have to help you.
Gross.
It won't be easy crossing that border. So I'm gonna give you a head start from the police.
Wait, how?
What's your plan?
The cops are after me too, for what happened in Nevada. So they can catch me instead of you. Fair trade.
Mom, you'll go to jail for helping us.
It's not about me right now.
Also, she probably won't.
We need to get your asses to Puerto Lobos.
I'm sure she'll be okay.
Like, maybe some community service, you know?
Well, I'm curious. What has she been charged with?
I mean, my only thing would be arson, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fire,
I don't know what the sentencing looks like for arson, but I think that, like, I don't know. You know, for example, if there was a possibility that she could get out on bail, then I think that there are people who might be able to help her. Well, I don't know. Claire and Stephen might be weird about it, so who knows?
Probably. But equally, it'd probably look bad for them if their daughter was in jail, so...
Yeah, so who knows? I don't know, like, I mean, it's a very meaningful risk for her to be taking, because it could go badly for her.
It could mean jail, yeah. And also...
But it's obviously not as bad for her as it is for them.
No. And also it's, like, less... Whatever the crime she's been accused of, obviously, because no one died at the thing as well. Like, she won't be accused of murder or anything, unlike these two, so... Yeah.
You know, it's interesting as well because so I watched Judas and the Black Messiah recently, which is available on Netflix, and it's basically a biopic about Fred Hampton, who was the chairman of the Chicago chapter of the Illinois chapter based in Chicago of the Black Panther Party. And he was famously, or I guess not so famously, murdered by the FBI, assassinated by the FBI in his sleep.
Jesus.
And the movie, the biopic, is pretty fantastic, and Daniel Kaluuya plays Fred Hampton, and he does an amazing job.
Love Daniel
But
Kaluuya.
one of the things that comes up a lot in that is the way that, like, that the Black Panthers and, like, Black radicals would be painted as being, like, evil and a threat to the society because they killed cops.
Yeah.
And it's not even about, like, oh, like, the whole narrative that they were cop killers wasn't even true, because they took up arms and they fought back against cops.
Yeah.
So they did kill cops. But not only is that justified considering the circumstances, but the way that was kind of used against them is something really of note, and the way that kind of racialized people have this whole thing of, like, oh, you're another level of kind of criminal or evil if you have killed a cop is something, there's a lot going on there to unpack. But if anyone's interested in kind of checking that out and thinking about it in relation to this game, then I would really recommend it. Yeah.
I'm gonna say thank you because I think she should.
Yeah.
Thank you. So much, Karen.
I knew what I was doing when I came to Haven Point looking for your brother. I felt
She set a fucking
it
building
was the
on
right
fire,
thing
like,
to do.
She did.
And I feel the same today. I tried to live by my own rules, no matter what. I don't expect you boys to be like me. But try to stay true to yourselves. This is your life. Don't let anybody get in the way.
She's my White Woman of the Month.
I mean, last time I think, because again I was trying to be thoughtful, I said Dad didn't raise us this way, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know, I was just going down a particular path. I was like trying to...
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I kind of was like, okay, I was trying to be consistent with how I'd kind of been playing things. And also, again, like, I didn't know what the endings were. I didn't know, like, you know, what could affect what. Like, I didn't know, basically. So I was like, I'm just gonna... I think I thought in this particular moment, like... I want to honor Esteban, I guess. And again, that feels like something that, at this point, Sean would say, based on how I'd played it up until that point. But, yeah, again, that's... don't agree with that.
That's not this playthrough.
No, and
We'll
we'll
do
do
whatever
whatever
it
it fucking
takes.
takes.
Fuck the rules. We'll do whatever we can to survive. That's fair.
Yes, it is. You took care of Daniel all the way from Seattle to Arizona.
He did.
Nobody could ask for a better brother. Or son. Okay. This is the last roundup.
Wait, let me say bye to Joanne.
All right.
He loves
I'm
Joanne.
gonna
He does.
go
It's
do
like, that's
one
my
last
mom
checkup
right
in
there.
the truck before you hit it.
That's my other mom.
And don't forget what we talked about. It's your life, Sean. You should go see David. He has something for you.
Okay.
It's coming back to me that in the video, I think I talked about Karen and David kind of representing the two different choices because they kind of promote the two different choices in a way.
Yeah.
That's something that we can talk about more if we want to later.
Still can't
but-
believe she's kept it.
Oh, she gave us some money. Shit.
That's my favorite Sean quote. Do you mean we'll do whatever it takes to survive? That's fair.
Yeah.
Pretty good one. Ugh, I forgot about Clarence Stephen.
Ew.
Number one Clarence Stephen hate club here. Okay,
we're
letter
writing.
writing time.
We're writing. Karen
How do you
or
want to
Mum?
start it? Sorry?
I was saying the same thing, basically. I'm... Much as I think that Sean has kind of accepted Karen a lot more, he has up until this point always been calling her Karen. Still. And I think that as much as he's feeling like his relationship with his mum is healing, I still don't know about calling her mum. Because I feel like he... Obviously, part of the reason he calls her Karen is that he's never felt like, or not for a long time, felt like she was a parent to him.
Yeah. I think the question is...
Is it
'Cause I-
forgiveness rather than...
Well, I think that I have thought similarly in the past, and so I've usually gone with Hey Karen. But in the interest of kind of... I'm playing devil's advocate.
He needs so many advocates, absolutely.
Playing devil's Advocate?
He's just running out of advocates these days. There just aren't enough.
Not enough people in the devil's corner.
No, honestly, give that guy a break. Sorry.
I think that if you wrote "Hey Mom," then it could be a gesture of kind of saying that I feel now, based on the way that you've behaved over the past couple of months, like you are being a mother to me, and I now feel differently about your relationship.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, if one was going to choose that, then I think that you could definitely like think of it in that way. Even though like "Hey Karen" sounds like more consistent with Sean's voice, and I'm not like 100% sure if he would, you know, go so far as to start calling her mom. But I think that, you know, there's a case to be made that it's a gesture of like forgiveness and also of seeing the relationship differently, especially if it's like she's taking such a big risk and it could potentially be the last time you see her.
Oh Jesus! Sorry, fireworks outside my house again.
Boo! But that's
what has happened? I feel like there was
me
football recently.
Oh boo!
I know. Ew.
That's me making the case for "Hey Mom."
Yeah, no, I agree that it feels like it's kind of a gesture. God, it's so loud. Fucking hell.
But I'm okay with either though. But
yeah, I think I said "Hey Mom" last time. And I think, you know, we are obviously forgiving Karen for the most part in this playthrough. Without still holding her to account, I guess, but not forgiving her. Yes, forgiving her, still holding her to account. That's what I meant. But yeah, I'm easy. But yeah, I think I agree that like I think it's a good gesture in forgiveness, right?
Yeah, I don't mind. What feels right?
I feel like I can like see Daniel not being able to necessarily say it or call her it to her face, but I could see him writing it down.
Yeah.
I think he's still not ready for, you know, actually using it when talking to her, but I could see it, yeah. Also, considering this is a letter that she'll have and be able to keep, you know, I think that would feel... And obviously she's kept a lot of letters from the looks of things, or like notes. That's a good stuff. Point. She does seem to keep a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so. That's a good point as well, I think, for something for her to physically have to hold on to.
Yeah, because it's not like she's going to get to visit them often.
Yeah, and I think that in that regard, maybe it's meaningful for it to say Mom, even if he never calls her Mom in person.
Hey, Mom. I know you're better with words than me, but still, here it goes.
Sorry for anyone who's triggered by fireworks. Hopefully it's not too loud.
I can't really hear it. So.
Okay. Ooh, juicy. I don't know which one I would rather say. I feel like I think I finally get you makes more sense in the sense of the letter. I feel like saying thanks for Daniel is a bit strange, if it makes sense. Like,
yeah, it's a bit just like out of the blue.
Like, yeah.
And it's not, I don't think it's as meaningful either, because like, you know, thanking her for like, I don't know, help. I guess it's also like ambiguous, because like, does he mean thank you for giving birth to Daniel?
Yeah, well, that's
which
what
is kind of a hollow thing.
And also bearing in mind she was potentially like deeply depressed after giving birth to Daniel. It feels a bit like, ooh.
Yeah, because the only other thing it could possibly mean is like, thank you for helping me like save him from Haven Point, but we don't really know either way.
Yeah.
But I think that it feels more meaningful to extend some understanding to her.
It took me some time, but I think I get why you are who you are. Maybe we're not that different.
think
I don't really want to apologize.
No, I was going to say, I think don't give up on your freedoms, the better. Because also, like, I think that's a more powerful thing to say anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I think that would, again, I think all of this means more to her than the alternative.
Yeah.
Please don't give up on your freedom. Okay? It's the best thing you've taught us. We'll reach you once we find our own freedom. Thank you so much. Love. Sean.
Yeah. It's a nice letter.
Look at that. They won't ever leave us alone.
Yeah, suspicious fire destroyed a church in Haven. Sorry. FBI and Nevada police are searching for a woman and her two teenage sons after a suspicious fire destroyed a church in Haven Point, Nevada. So it will probably be arson that she'll get convicted for, which, I mean, it's not.
So okay, so I wonder if you don't get her to burn the church, what happens?
No, she burns it anyway, doesn't she? Or like.
Oh right, so yeah, because she burns.
She says she has a distraction.
That doesn't happen either way, but what does happen either way is the church burning at the end.
And presumably, like, no matter what. Obviously, I think the only thing that can change is obviously if Elizabeth ends up dying,
then it would be like arson and murder. Yeah.
But I think because it's only arson in this case, only, you know what I mean, it would probably be not as horrendous a sentence if she does have any kind of jail sentence.
Should go see what David wants now.
I guess the whole, like, don't give up on your freedom thing, and that's the best thing you told us. I think it also makes it more meaningful that she's willing to give up her freedom to help them now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, again, like, she's literally sacrificing the one thing that she's worked for such a long time.
Let's get ready to talk to fucking David.
I hope the UFOs are listening.
Why is his trailer like that? Like a spaceship?
Because then he can look more and more like a fucking conspiracy theorist. He literally lives in a tin can. Tinfoil hat.
Yeah, true. Very David core.
This place has too many adults.
Sean.
Hey. Aaron said you wanted to see me?
Yeah, but go grab that police scanner inside first. I gotta put these new plates on the car.
Sure. I'm on it.
I'll join you when I'm done.
Okay, so yeah, let's nosy around before grabbing the police scanner.
Must be his wife. Time's taking a serious toll on him since this.
Well, he doesn't have the shit haircut in the same way anymore. Oh, that picture.
We definitely chose to sacrifice Arcadia Bay in this, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
It's okay, I very consciously made sure that we did.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because he said when Sean asked him about kids, he said he had a stepdaughter, but he didn't say she was dead.
She was dead.
Because he does in the playthrough I did.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so Joyce is definitely dead in this playthrough.
That must have been the best meal ever, to frame it on the wall.
Oh, so that would have probably been the first time he met Joyce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and David won't be sharing any playlists.
Bluegrass, wow. David.
Okay, here we go.
They look cool.
They are cool.
I
We
wonder
love
which
them.
one is his daughter.
Oh.
So have you seen this photo before?
I have, but not in game. I've just seen it when
Yeah.
like searching stuff. But yeah,
Those are my gays.
they're my gays. Chloe's tattoos are so good. Like she's got like so much of it blacked out. Like that's very cool.
So it's interesting, right? Because a lot of people picked up on the fact that she's blacked out most of the tattoo that she has that you see at the full sleeve in If It's Strange, and there were quite a few people who picked up on that and like asked the creators about it. And I think I saw Michelle Koch like replying to it and basically saying that the reason why they had like an image of Chloe blacking out like a bunch of the tattoo was because the tattoo like represents something for her that she like wants to put behind her or move on from.
Interesting.
I don't remember like exactly what he said, but it was basically along those lines.
Trying to remember what was there. It was like flowers and stuff, wasn't it? Or was it?
It was like a skull and a bunch of flowers and things, and you might remember that in Before the Storm they show her getting the tattoo like with Rachel. As well.
Interesting. Because the skull as well makes me think maybe it's about her dad a bit. Oh.
Yeah, maybe.
Because obviously, there's a lot of that imagery in Before the Storm, of like her dealing with her dad's death and stuff, and like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the skull imagery is also everywhere in Life is Strange because they're kind of trying to imply that Chloe is like marked for death.
Yeah.
Like on her shirts and on her tattoo and everywhere. But yeah, I think that that's interesting. I love Chloe's hair in this. I really love it.
I think as well, like her having longer hair really feels like she's like. I think it's interesting because obviously we see her with longer hair when she's young, and then when she's like feeling very, like obviously Before the Storm, when she's in probably her worst place mental health wise, at the beginning, that's when we first see her with shorter hair, and it almost seems like this kind of like part of her queerness, part of her rebellion, part of like all of these things that stop her from being this like blonde hair, blue-eyed girl as a kid, and all of those things that made her like this very like heterosexual, perfect child under white supremacy.
Yeah.
So I feel like her growing her hair long but it's still being dyed, to me feels very symbolic of like she's not just trying to reject that person, but she is not that person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, like tattooing and like hair dyeing and changing your hair and stuff is stuff that feels so like visceral, like such a visceral way of like representing who you are as a person, right? So I think that when I first saw this photo, I was like, it really stands out to me, both the tattoo and the hair, because yeah, I mean, how many of us like get a haircut or dye our hair or get a tattoo when we're like feeling some type of way, or we want to kind of like we want to make a change in our lives, or we want to kind of memorialize something or move on from something or kind of begin a new era. So it feels very it just feels very significant, doesn't it?
I also think like in terms of new starts and things like that, and obviously she is trying to remove herself from the way she has previously felt, or the place she has previously lived in, or whatever it may be. I always think a lot about like, and this is in kind of reference to like my own trauma, but I think a lot about this kind of thought of like, none of my hair is the same as when those things happen to me. Like, I don't have the same hair anymore, if it makes sense. Like, I'm cutting off all the hair that knew that person, or that was, I don't know, there is something so symbolic about hair, in our own, like, experiences of hair as well. Not just kind of as a broader, like, TV theory, I guess. It does feel like a very personal thing. And like when there's a reason people who go through breakups cut a fringe, or like cut off their hair. Like, it's often something that feels very liberatory, I guess, and there's something very powerful in that feeling. And yeah, of just kind of disassociating from something completely. But I think the fact that she's letting it grow feels like new growth, if that makes sense. Like, you know, a new start, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think that the color blue is so like symbolic in the game, like in the original game, that I think that shedding the color blue is also feels like it has a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
Also, yes, Max is wearing a moon on her shirt, and that's pretty lesbian of her. But Max, I mean, looks pretty similar, which I think in its own way is there is something about her that looks different to me.
It's
but
like
I can't explain it.
She just looks less scared. Honestly. Like, she kind of, there's something about her that looks more confident. In this photo, at least, like the way she is directly, if we think about like some of the themes from like Life is Strange 1 with like looking and being seen and things like that, like the fact she's looking straight down the barrel of the camera, it's like it feels a lot more confrontational than Max ever was, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, but there's just something about her face that looks different. Like, it's like everything else about her looks the same, but there's just something in her expression, or yeah. I think it is styled differently. I think you're right.
Yeah, it has definitely styled differently.
It's definitely styled a little gayer.
Yeah. I get the vibe she has like a little undercut at the back. Like, that's my headcanon.
That'd be cute.
Yeah.
I woke up one day, medium long hair, and cut it all off one day when I was at my lowest, dyed it blue the next day, and never felt myself. Yeah, that kind of change, I don't know, like, I think it's because when you're experiencing some kind of like mental shift, or, you know, even like despair or turmoil or anything like that, changing your body in some way feels like it can help you process that.
I always feel like it feels like a power thing to me personally. Like, it's whenever I've had a big hair change or like a new tattoo or something like that, it really like reminds me that my body is mine. Like, and I can do what I want with it, and like there's something so, I don't know, just something so powerful about that, about like reminding yourself like, this is mine. Like, you know, because it so often isn't. I mean, especially like the way that society makes us feel about our bodies and about who we are is so, you know, it makes us live under capitalism. We feel commodified, we feel sexualized, we feel all these different things. To be able to do something that is like 100% for me always feels, I don't know, it's like this.
I really hear you. And I think that's how I feel about tattooing a lot of the time as well.
For me, it's just such a like statement of like, this is mine and no one else's, and no one gets to tell me or, you know, influence it, you know.
Yeah, I really hear that. It's a good observation as well, cause that Max's hair is like less hiding her face.
Yes, if it's going. Sorry, I'm just gonna order some food, I think.
Okay, that's okay.
Whatever it is, I can always microwave.
And Chloe looks so much less angry. Yeah, I think that that's a good point as well. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about this photo that I really love. There's something about it. I don't know if I have much more to say about it, except that it's interesting that it seems to be taken in the desert. So I don't know if that's implying that...
I think it's implying they've come to visit him.
They've come to visit him, yeah. Which is interesting. It's just nice to see them doing well. Yeah, you're right. It's nice to see them doing well, and I think that after you kind of like experience everything that you do with them, it's I don't know, it's kind of like, you know, when you knew someone as a kid and then you meet them a few years later
and they've come out and they look cool as shit.
Yeah, and there's just something so wonderful about that, and it kind of feels like that.
It's just like a different confidence, right? Like, I like to think that if I do see people that I knew as a kid, like, I like to think, like, the one thing that people probably see when they look at me, hopefully not, she's gained loads of weight, oh my god, she must have let herself go. But mostly, I really hope it's that I feel more confident, or there's like a different kind of self-assurance, I guess. That I didn't have when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I think I've read a bit of the comics, but I need to catch up with them. But my only complaint from what I did read is that I would like more green hair Chloe content. Blue hair, classic blue hair Chloe is absolutely, we love her.
She's a slay.
After I saw this, I want to
see the makeover. I want to see the transformation.
I want to see more green hair Chloe in action.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
Polaroids. Can we look at those separately? Okay.
Cool portraits. Didn't think David had a taste for the arts.
Damn. Max has had influence.
Really. Yeah, is he having his Max Caulfield?
Or were these taken by Max Caulfield?
Or were they taken by Max Caulfield? You know what? That's more likely, actually. Yeah.
Seeing as they're good.
Yep. David is ready for that apocalypse. Or whatever.
He always has been. How old are those tin cans at this point? Like, I know technically tins don't expire, but...
Arthur said David could fix anything. He hopes.
Lol. Yeah, I think that they might be Max Caulfield originals because they are.
God damn, this bathroom's fancy. What the fuck? There's a fancy bathroom for a trailer.
And is
that
weird
to be back
a
on the road with
mandolin
Daniel.
or a banjo?
After all this time in a community.
I don't know which one
so
it
random.
is. I know, but he's into bluegrass, so that makes total sense to me.
That's so... Yeah, but none of that is what I would expect from David.
I feel like this is his laid-back, more hippie era, though, right? Like,
I
this is where he
guess
goes
so,
from, like, conspiracy theorist, but, like, cop, to conspiracy theorist, but, like, make it crunchy and hippie, you know?
Yeah. David plays the mandolin? Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably got time. Got time to learn a new skill, right?
Yeah.
As if money could make up for everything he's lost.
Oh, they get like... Jeez. Oh, so yeah, they got...
statement from the city of Arcadia Bay for...
Damages.
Damages. Yeah.
Damages as in losing his wife?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't own the house.
No,
the house
I was
in
going to
Joyce's
say.
name.
But if they were married, the money would go to him if she's dead.
That's true. But damages could well mean her. Like,
yeah, probably do. Oh, I'm meant to take
because we live under capitalism, and that's how capitalism is about death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How does this thing work? Okay. Only gotta search between 140 and 160.
How did he get a police scanner?
1, 2, 3.
I think they're quite easy to find.
Really?
1, 2, 3.
I mean, there are like old ones surely everywhere. Not everywhere, but like...
Please.
Probably quite easy
Please
to buy
don't
them.
let the cops
from,
come looking for us out here.
I don't know. You know, if you just know a guy, I don't know.
Love my life to have a dollar amount attached.
Yeah. I don't know what I personally would get one, but like, I'm sure for someone like David, it's not that hard.
Nope. Definitely not.
Go on, sir. All I was saying is, now you have these eco-terrorists trying to shut down our way of life, just to punish us. You can't even look at a tree anymore without getting some fine or new regulation. If the Earth is getting so damn hot, I mean, why is there snow? I applaud.
Not another climate change denier.
God.
That's quite a funny, like, Dontnod Easter egg, because you remember the, like, one climate change denier guy outside the Two Whales diner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little... wonder if it's the same guy.
I wonder.
Feels very
He's
Dontnod
doing
to
well
do that.
for himself.
Backwoods on Dusty Rocks FM. Hooking you up all day long with
No.
When we're in Mexico, we won't have to deal with this shit anymore.
Oh,
136.
there we go.
We've got reports of a 10-10
Wait.
down by
Is this it?
Sam's. Shit.
Now we can spy on the cops all the way to Mexico. Thanks, David. You big rebel.
David, a big rebel.
First time in
Those-
his fucking life.
You know, those are words.
I mean, technically he did rebel in Life is Strange 1, just like the wrong way.
Yeah.
In over-policing beyond his job description.
I guess you could call that rebellion.
It's a kind of rebellion in that he got fired for it. However...
And your mom's car is all ready to roll. Did you get the police scanner?
Yep. And I found the police frequency.
How about that? Good job. Now, you'll always want to know what they're up to. No surprises on your way to the border. All right. This is the fastest route. When you get there, cross between these two stations. Now, you have to exit the main road and drive through the desert for a while. But Karen's car should be okay. You got all that?
Sure. Think so.
Sean, you have to know. The police are on your ass.
Thanks.
You
Unaware.
only get
Wow.
one chance here. I'm not trying
yeah,
to
that
be a
is an
dick.
in memoriam tattoo on David.
Just-
I've been wondering.
Honest.
I don't think he had that
I
in,
know, David.
Well, I'd hope he didn't have that in the
Thanks.
playthrough, because having a in memoriam of Chloe would be fucking
Here.
weird. Unless it's
He
like in
does have it in
memoriam.
the other playthrough, but I think that we never see any skin
I don't
from
mean to
David
order you
Thank
around.
in the
God.
other games. So he could have
Bad
gotten it
habits
from
die hard.
his friend
And
dying
yes,
in the
I
army.
was suspicious when Karen showed up.
Oh,
with
he
you
did
two.
have it in Life is Strange
But
1.
after watching you and your little brother for a while, I think I get what you're going
He
through.
could have, but we don't know because
I
we never saw any
see.
skin.
Oh, yeah.
Destroyed by that hurricane. Oh, my stepdaughter and her friend were among the only survivors. We lost everyone else.
Jeez.
And Warren. Haha!
Sorry.
I
Fuck
used to
Warren.
hate them for running away. They hit the road straight away, never to look back, while I was trying to rebuild.
Why would they want to rebuild with you? Be so fucking for real. Like
Yeah.
after everything that you put them through, like why would they stay? Like why
Yeah.
would they why would they stay?
Also, why would they stay full stop? Like,
Why would they stay full stop, but also why would they stay with you?
yeah. What about
Um,
you? Would they want to keep around?
Also,
You
yeah,
know?
Max and Chloe playing over the scene. As soon as you hear those opening chords, you're a bit like,
My children. My
my
girls.
my gay children.
Yeah. My girlies.
Yeah, I think it's quite possible because, you know, I think that like it's a thing that many veterans do, that the tattoo is war related.
Potentially, yeah. that makes more sense. Yeah, I just wondered if it was like a Joyce thing.
Maybe.
I wonder if, I mean, we could probably look it up after, like, if you do the same, because I don't remember him having it in my playthrough.
Really?
I feel like it's something I'd have noticed. I don't know.
Fair enough. I remember noticing it consistently.
Have you
mainly... I'm the kind of person who, you know, if I see the hint of a tattoo...
Yeah, I'm like, ooh.
I'm like, tell me more. But yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess I understand on some level how someone would be, like, upset that they ran away immediately. But it's David, so...
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I think that you're wrong.
Oh, okay. It's there depending on whichever. Like, doesn't matter which ending you chose. So
yeah,
maybe it is, because it would be very weird for him to get in memoriam of Chloe tattooed on him.
I feel like he would have the audacity
so
to
uncomfy
do that.
with that. Yeah, he would.
I feel like he would have the audacity to do something like that. However, I think that it's more likely.
I think that Joyce would stop him. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that it was war.
Yeah. I want to ask about Max and Chloe.
Yeah.
Don't care about him. Want to know about Max and Chloe.
Did you stay in touch? Do you get along now?
Yeah. Took me a while to acknowledge the past was the past and move on. Like they did. Once I realized that, I reached out to them. And we made peace with each other. They stayed here for a while. It felt good to connect with my daughter at last. You guys remind me of them, in a way. And I don't want to fuck things up this time. Sean, I'm gonna do everything I can to help you get out of here. That's my duty now. But I want to be straight up with you.
His duty.
Okay?
Fuck off.
Yeah. Of course.
I know you guys
Gotta make it
got
about
screwed.
war all the time.
But you think nobody will ever believe you. But the truth is on your side.
Don't be so
You
fucking
and Daniel
naive,
can't
David.
just hide out forever. Is that how you see yourself in 10 years?
In Mexico, yeah.
If you step up and face the law.
Oh.
So he's
free.
learned nothing, actually.
Fundamentally nothing. Like,
Fundamentally
can you imagine,
nothing.
Can you imagine him saying this to Chloe?
Yeah,
Can you
literally.
imagine? She'd be
Well,
like,
so
excuse me?
This is the thing, right? So, like, he talks about them making peace and stuff, and I can't, like, I can only imagine that it's a very, like...
I think it's very much
cold,
a, like, when they
sort
see
of.
each other, they cannot talk about anything.
Yeah, yeah,
They cannot talk about anything.
yeah. I don't
Because
feel like it's, like...
They agree on so little, you know?
Yeah, because, like, they're so different, and
Yeah.
I just, like, yeah, you're, like, if he said that to Chloe, she would...
She'd laugh in his face. She'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about, you idiot? Or it's like they have just, like, the kind of relationship where she just takes the piss out of him. Which...
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe. But
Who
yeah,
knows?
it's such a... Yeah.
But it's
No.
crazy that, yeah, I mean, like, on a fundamental level, he hasn't, like, changed his beliefs about a lot of things.
No.
And, I don't know, I think that it does kind of make me think of some of the political criticisms of Life is Strange, the first one, around, like, what justice for Arcadia Bay looks like and what justice for Mark Jefferson's victims looks like, and the way that that is, framed somewhat through like reaffirming the criminal justice system. So it does make me think of that. Like, in a way, it's not inconsistent with some of the more like liberal ideology like at play.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like, yeah, it definitely does frame like any kind of like, if you do the Arcadia, like if you save Arcadia Bay, yeah, the like solution, quote unquote, is that Jefferson gets arrested, right? It's not that, I don't know, that's their idea of a solution or a prevention.
Which it just, it doesn't
and I feel
solve,
like there's something
anything
to really be unpacked, and it's probably not something we have even time for in life to unpack, but something that really need to unpack is like the idea of preventative justice. Like, I think so often, as in like the way that the police often operate to prevent, or they say to prevent further crimes, right? So if like something happens with someone who's violent, for instance, and they arrest them, they consider that as prevention of like future crimes. And I think it's such a fucked up way of thinking, but like it's often talked about in when people talk about serial killers, like, or in true crime discussions, is very much like talking about prevention. And it's like, prevention would not be to arrest people. Prevention would be to provide like mental health care for everyone. It would be to give funding to communities that are impoverished. It would be to give, you know, access to, like, make sure people are always fed. It would be all of these things that are like, prevention is social care. Prevention is not arrests. And I think that's something that people really, a lot of people who generally have pretty good politics will fall down on a lot. And I've had a lot of discussions with people that go along those lines, where it's like, the idea of prevention is not the correct, it's so misguided, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that that's like a key thing of like, when we talk about abolition, you know, I think that Ruth Wilson Gilmore says something along the lines of like, abolition is not just about abolishing the buildings that we call prisons. It's about abolishing the social conditions to which the prison is the answer.
Yeah.
And so thinking about it in that way, and thinking about abolition as being like, okay, this isn't just about like abolishing the police. It's not just about shutting down prisons, the buildings. It's also about like how we fundamentally change the social conditions that lead to a lot of the so-called like crimes, quote unquote, that we are seeing. And I mean like, so, you know, obviously there's a lot of things that are clearly like political crimes. Like, if we're talking about drug use, that's obviously, and drug dealing, then you know, we need to be talking about mental health, and we need to be talking about poverty, and we need to be talking about you know, citizenship status and access to legal work. Similarly with sex work, if we're talking about, you know, violent crimes, then we need to be talking about misogyny and racism, and how we kind of like, you know, deal with those, and etc. etc.
Yeah, like Lost and Fairy, what you said about Nathan Prescott. Yeah, like if he got actual help or what, like in his community, then he wouldn't have done what he did. But equally, if his family didn't own half the fucking, in fact, all the fucking Arcadia Bay, like if he didn't have the privilege and the power to get away with shit like that, like not get away with, but like know he could get away with that, like and knowing that he could have like cover if like from his dad if something went wrong, like there's so many things, because most people who have mental illnesses don't do shit like that. Like and it is it's
a really good point, and one that I think is under discussed in Life is Strange circles.
And also I think that the line about that Sara said about is that where you see yourself in 10 years? If he does, surrender, it's either dead or in jail in 10 years. So
yeah.
What
No,
now,
I was just
David?
gonna add that one of the other, like, on that kind of wavelength of thinking, like failings about Life is Strange from an abolitionist point of view and so forth, is also that the main villain, Mark Jefferson, there are a lot of ways in which I think that he is a really interesting villain, but ultimately he is just framed as being like, you know, pathologically evil. When the crimes that he commits, well, I don't love the language of crimes, but I guess that the violence that he commits, that he perpetuates, is so political, right? Like we've talked about that so much on the channel before.
And it's
like
also
it's so gendered, it's so
calculated. Like it's not just because he's evil. It's things that he does with deliberate care and planning, and but also with thoughts about like how he could get away with it, like how, you know, how to manipulate the situation. Like I think when we assume, and I again, this is something that comes up in a lot of true crime discourse of like, this person was just born to be evil, or like was just born wrong, or whatever, and it's always so reductive, and it doesn't. And I think that Mark Jefferson is kind of that, like.
Yeah.
And it's such a common thing in media as well, and I think it ties into propaganda so much of like this idea of like the serial killer who was born wrong, and there's nothing that anyone can do to actually help them or prevent them from doing what they're doing. Like there's no help.
100%.
The only solution is death or arrest. Like
and the thing is that like Life is Strange as a whole brings up so many like institutional systemic issues, and I think that's one of the reasons why it still feels generally like so strong and so compelling to me as a political narrative.
I think it's, you don't have to agree with every part of it to still consider it like a worthy text to discuss, right? Like it doesn't have to have perfect politics. It just has to bring up things in interesting ways, and we still critique them in interesting ways, you know?
Yeah, 100%, which is like true of any art. But I guess that is interesting, because I think it's one of the things that I feel in episode 5 quite strongly, and I think that, you know, same in True Colors and similarly in this game, as we're about to see, is that like there's such a powerful representation about how like so much of what these characters are, like why they are the way they are, why they do the things they do, it is rooted in these kind of systemic and institutional issues, from kind of like wealth inequality and poverty, to, you know, the perspective of entitlement and power and privilege, to kind of gendered violence, to the kind of institution of schooling within the context of a capitalist society, etc., etc., etc.
All right, that was
and
ignore.
That's you.
It's me. 27 fucking months, bitch.
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
So because so much of the setup is like is about is framed like through institutional problems, because it's not even just that we're reading it in that way, it's that the text itself frames it in that way.
It is creating that discussion, like it wants you to talk about it, you know, and that's why it's so funny when, well, not funny, but like when these games do get more like liberal in their stance on like cops and stuff, you're just like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, what's going on?
I thought you were on side here. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Get it together.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's always so close, and yet.
Yeah.
Cool. Hell no, I'm not gonna turn myself in. Fuck right off.
We've come too far now. We just want a new life. That's it.
I understand. I do. I'm trying to
be wrong.
Be the adult.
Trying to be wrong.
Shut up.
You're too young.
Yes, he's too young to be dealing with it.
All this.
He's too young to go to prison as well.
Daniel is growing up fast. Too fast.
That's what I'm worried about.
You made it here. So, I know you're on the right path. Oh. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna nose in on this
really have to take
conversation
this.
because I'm vibrating.
Do it.
Hey, sweetie. What's up?
Sweetie.
Him calling her sweetie is so funny to me. Okay, let's listen in.
No shit. Told you New Yorkers were assholes. Yeah, I know. How about that other gallery she told me about? Cool. Fingers crossed then.
So Max is submitting to galleries.
Nah, your old man doesn't fear the heat. Yeah, those solar panels are finally up and running. You'll see them next time you come by.
Oh my god. Chloe Eco Warrior was like, you gotta get some solar panels, like stop dealing with this shitty electricity.
I don't know. Maybe if you drive down to Louisiana or Texas, that'd be cool. Yeah, gotcha. All right. Take care then. Wish Max luck for me, okay?
Fucking hell. It's okay. I mean, in the first place,
Bye-bye.
like that conversation
ya.
feels so like weird. And,
Yeah.
Like he's trying, like, I don't know. It's so weird. And then,
Okay, old gal.
well, I don't know if it's just voice acting,
Let's
but
check
his
you out
voice
once.
felt like almost like he was performing.
Yeah,
It
it
was so
feels like
weird.
he's really trying, but like in a weird way.
Weird way. But then also, just to say that I think that it's cute that Max and Chloe. I think that from that conversation, it just feels like Chloe talks about Max.
Yeah, basically the whole
Like-
time.
Like, but yeah, like she's her girlfriend, which she is.
Yeah, I feel like, especially because obviously Max is kind of the one who probably encouraged Chloe to have a better relationship with David. I also feel like because I would guess that Max and David probably get on better, just purely because they don't have the history that Chloe and David have. So I wonder if it's just like an easier conversation because it's like, oh yeah, that Max, she's a good influence on you kind of vibe.
Looks like we got everything.
Yeah, potentially.
I don't know.
It's also
Time to
interesting
hit the
because it
highway.
sounds like Chloe and Max are like having a tricky time figuring out kind of where they want to be.
Yeah.
Like they're not having a good time in New York, and
Well, it sounded like
Thinking
it
about-
was that Max got rejected from like a gallery in New York or something.
yeah, maybe.
Because it sounded like she'd had a rejection, but like she's, I don't know.
Or like it went badly for some reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't know. Okay.
People linking up in the chat. Games this
Hell-
community
Hell
becoming
yeah.
one.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Hi, Sean.
Do I say bye to
Hey,
Stan and
guys.
Arthur? Love how they're just in the same place.
I came by to say adios. We're taking off today.
No, you're not. Really?
He's like, no, my gay son.
Everything okay?
Yeah, just time to go.
Well, shit. Wish you and Daniel could stay longer.
It's something about the shirt for me. I think that's what's giving tech bro. I don't know what it
Tech
is.
bro. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have seen a Silicon Valley tech bro in like a Netflix limited series wear this outfit.
Yeah, it's just, and it's
Yeah.
like something about the glasses. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just hitting that for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I don't have strong feelings either way.
Yeah, me neither.
I just say we got to cross that border. I don't know. Cross that shitty border.
Thanks. But the sooner we cross the border, the better. No worries.
No worries? Bullshit. That's all we're gonna do until you make it.
We will. Thanks to you.
His gay dads, his gay mums, you know.
You gave
So
us a
many
place to
gay
breathe.
parents going
Sean.
around.
It's beautiful.
I won't drag this out and get bitter. Besides, you and Daniel will be back to visit, right?
No.
I think. I mean, I think you could say like we will try, but it's.
I can't
almost
see a world in which they could.
in
but
which it's possible. Yeah.
I guess only if they did in like after he comes out of prison, I guess.
Yeah, quite a naive comment for Stanley to make, to be honest with you. You're gonna have to visit them.
Yeah, come visit us, actually.
Yeah.
I think I might just say no way, because it's just realistic, right?
Unfortunately, it's just not possible. Because once you
No way.
legally immigrate,
I mean,
like,
we're going to be fugitives until forever, probably.
Yes, you and your little brother are the real threat to the country. Makes me sick. Okay, I'm done babbling.
Yeah, come visit us.
I just hate goodbyes. I know you're both gonna have a great life in Mexico.
I hope
You
so,
better.
We're gonna make it work. Shit. I'm gonna miss you guys.
Take care. You hear? Watch out for Daniel. He needs you.
Be safe. And send us a postcard of the beach.
There's little beads.
okay, where are my other gay parents?
Yeah.
Joanne.
Come on.
There we go.
Hey. What's going on?
I'm taking a look at this baby with hindsight. So, what do you think?
I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
I think I
love
did
it.
flawless work.
Yeah.
Looks very cool. I can totally tell what you're doing.
Oh, good. That makes one of us.
Well, we built it.
But I like it.
Go off.
Of course, you and Daniel, you did inspire me.
I love it.
So, you guys leaving now?
Yeah, just wanted to say goodbye.
That's sweet. You're so sweet. Your
Bye,
brother
Mom.
is so sweet. Having you boys around was the sweetest thing. This is for all your help.
Really? Whoa. That's great.
Do I get anything?
Your name is on a way bigger sculpture. For everyone to see.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Your brother needed a little something to remind him of the artist inside.
It like vibrates whenever she's like
Wicked.
Touching him.
Yeah.
Okay, one big hug. And get out of here before we all
Nativity
start crying like
experience
babies.
The love.
Thank you,
Vibrating hug.
Joanne, for everything.
Just please take care of yourself. And my special apprentice.
No worries. We always do.
Hey, is it okay if I hang out a bit longer?
If it's okay with her.
Oh, are you
She
kidding?
has all the time in the world
I
for her
need more
son.
help. So long, Sean.
Aw.
Don't be a stranger.
Oh, Jean and Daniel and
I'll miss you so much.
Joanne and Daniel
Joanne.
and Sean.
I know, sweetie. I'll miss you too.
It's cute.
I had so much fun and inspiration building all these things.
Daniel loves her so much.
I know.
So cute.
Oh yeah.
I just use it because I have to.
Hey, don't worry. I'm sure we'll get another chance to work together. Once you're settled.
Yeah. I hope.
Just to reiterate
We've got a
that
long way to
you
go.
all have to visit us in Mexico.
So yeah, like that's such a good point. He hasn't really been able to just like
This place is such a trip.
create with it.
It's kind of like a desert mirage.
It's true. Like his power feels like
think you can see
something
it.
that's either
The closer you get, it changes.
for like emergencies or it like causes trouble.
I thought the people here would be like freaks. But they're just sick of the bullshit. I'll definitely miss all this peace and quiet.
I've got to say, this really reminds me of
Hope
The
we can find
Sims.
some.
Like this particular little kind of gathering. It really makes me think of Strange Town, which is like so in The Sims 2 there's this kind of like desert community that your sim can like live in, and it's got a lot of lore like as to why it is the way that it is, but and like there's the occasional alien abduction, because of course there is, but
Classic.
yeah, standard. But yeah, it's like it's very like this. It's got lots of like interesting kind of pieced together architecture that's like kind of lots of scraps and stuff like that, and it's got like yeah, like power generators and like I don't know, like it's really giving that vibe to me.
Missed the entire convo because I was washing the dishes. Amazing, incredible work. You're doing more than I am. True about abolishing, we need more funding in mental health. I work as a nurse in a mental health unit, and it's obvious we lack funding, not just in Canada, but in the West in general. Yeah, absolutely. Imagine giving money to hospitals and having universal health care and also quality, livable wages and workable hours for hospital staff instead
hit the road
of
now.
policing borders and
Yep.
dropping bombs on global south countries.
And also, can we talk about how much, if like even doctors had better resources, they would probably be less shitty to patients and have
Yep.
more access to better education about certain conditions that they tend to misdiagnose, and yeah, just all
Yeah.
of the various things. And also, yeah, Strange Town is such a slay.
Imagine claiming universal healthcare and actually having universal healthcare. Yeah, a problem that's both true in Canada and the UK.
Imagine. Yeah. Okay, I think it's time, guys. Leave away.
Daniel, do you copy?
He's like,
It's the
"No."
king
Time to wrap it
now.
up.
Be right there. Over.
So God save the king now.
So, did you get to say goodbye to Away?
Yeah. Kinda sad.
I know.
Are we leaving yet?
We have to, and I know.
Come here.
Mom, I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too, Danny. It was amazing to spend this time with you.
She's also like the only person who calls him Danny. Feels very white. But
Yeah.
Damn proud of
cute,
you both.
but white.
It's
And what
cute
you're gonna
that
do
she
with
has a
your
little
life.
nickname for him, though.
And if you ever need me,
But you're right.
I'm just around the corner.
Okay, Mom. Thank you.
Yeah, they are literally not that far. Again, it's like so silly to think like they have to act like they're probably not going to see each other again, and they're like
Because of the
literally-
fucking border.
because of the fucking border, but they're literally not even far away. Like Mexico is literally not far. Puerto Lobos is not far. Like they are probably like a few hours drive away, if that, which in American terms is like fucking nothing. Just
Yeah,
wild.
It's horrible and stupid and abolish borders.
Yep.
Well, Sean, this is it.
This is another thing. So it's kind of linked to what you were saying before about prevention, but wow, what happened there? Sorry, I'm a bit
Something,
sick, guys.
You good?
Yeah. So the other day I was in a cab and someone had on BBC Radio 5 and like the presenters were having a conversation and they had some guests on the show and they were like, will Rishi Sunak's plan to deport people to Rwanda actually work? And there were so many things about this conversation that were horrific.
Even just
One
the
of them-
framing of that is stupid.
The framing of that, right? Like
Stupid
the framing
question
of
to
it.
ask.
So much of the framing of it was like, will this actually work? There were several times the presenter said, forget about whether we think it's ethical or moral. Will it work? Which, you know, what a thing to say.
Will what
And then-
work? Like what part? What?
Well,
what is
so
the goal?
and then this is the thing. So basically, they kept saying like the whole idea is that it's a deterrent. So if you threaten to send people to Rwanda, then they won't illegally immigrate to the UK. But to bring it back to what Charlotte was saying earlier about like the complete illogic of crime prevention by kind of arresting people, the reason why people immigrate illegally has a lot to do with, first, the fact that many of them are fleeing wars and conflicts that are directly or indirectly caused by Western imperialism.
Yep.
So it would be great if we stopped doing a Western imperialism.
That would be
Second,
so cool. if
that
we
would be
didn't do
really
that.
cool. Second, people who are fleeing war tend to be rather desperate. And people who are desperate are going to risk everything to get somewhere that could grant them asylum and could be a safe place. So the threat of sending them to Rwanda is not going to turn them away.
No.
But also, thirdly, these people can't, even if they wanted to, can't immigrate legally because they don't have the time and they don't have the money because they are fleeing war.
Yeah. And this is why, when I talked earlier about, like, we provided so much shit for Ukrainians when Russia invaded Ukraine. Like, so much was provided, like, the kind of infrastructure, like, the infrastructure to, like, quickly emigrate was there. Like that. Because it is that easy. It is that easy. We just create the situations that make it hard. We can make that decision. We had the power to make it then. We have the power to make it now. We just choose not to because it's a group of people that we don't perceive as being valuable
Human.
to us or human.
Yeah.
Like, we can do it. We've done it. We literally did it, like, what, 2 years ago? Not even that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
We can do it. We know how to do it. And yet, we do not. So, yeah.
Thanks, Fatal Rhythms,
Yeah,
for
thank you.
hanging out. Have a nice lurk.
Enjoy your luck. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's so true.
I wanna hug Karen.
Yeah. Sorry, that wasn't even a debate.
Easy peasy.
Easy.
Thanks, Mom, for being there.
Thanks for letting me, son.
Oh, it's a good hug.
It's a very good hug. I gotta wonder how all of this goes down if you're if
Let's
you
hit
push
the road.
Karen away.
Yeah, I think it's probably still, like, functionally the same, just a different kind of interaction, right? Oh, I think my food's arrived. I can smell it. It's fine. I'll wait till after the stream.
I think we're, getting there.
We've got some time
Take care,
being
boys.
detained and such, so
Yeah, maybe it will take us
Stay
another
safe.
hour or two.
yeah. Oh, they're such girlfriends.
Bye, everybody.
God, it's a good thing Sean's a gay who knows how to drive, isn't it? This would have been a
Yeah.
real problem. I mean, all of this is a problem, but you know what I mean. Like, all of
Yeah, it
this
would have
journey
been
would have
made
been
a lot
real
worse.
difficult.